our national anthem. We are in Heritage Month. We are here to celebrate and talk about women issues, talk about women in construction, youth in construction, but most of all to also acknowledge and celebrate our Heritage Month, our heritage. And again, heritage. Lilibet, you didn't get the memo. Hi bo. Can I represent Batswana? Mazulu akai. Mazulu, are you there? You're not wearing your things. Basotho? Okay, let's start with, I'll come back to that one. Because I'm going to find everyone who has not represented their culture. Okay, we're going to stand, all stand up. Can you all stand? On church choiring.
Kosi sikeleli Afrika.
Thank you very much. Without wasting time, Minister of Department of Public Works, Honorable Sikalala, Councillor Puti, Mayor, all political leaders amongst us, senior officials of the Department of Public Works and other departments, BBBCE, women in construction, youth in construction. I want to take this opportunity to invite the owner of this land, as we are visitors, to come and welcome us so that we may begin our program for the day. knowing that we have been welcomed and we can be comfortable in this place. Ntate Putu, could you kindly come forward and welcome us so that we can begin to do our work? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Program Propeller. Good morning, Mafrika Borwamantle. Honorable Minister, Minister of National Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, Ntate Sihle Sikalala, the Executive Mayor of Bojanala, Councillor Nonzamo Matlakala, the HODs, Acting Director Generals that are present, councillors from different municipalities in Bojanala that are here with us, representatives and leaderships from various government departments and agencies, the CIDB in Bokonibu Perima, Independent Development Trust, Northwest, Sandral, distinguished guests, the hustlers and movers of our local economy in the province. Welcome to the Platinum City. Welcome to Rustenburg. And I am welcoming you on behalf of the Executive Mayor of Rustenburg, Councillor Sheila Mabale Huma, who could not join us today. A city that is carrying the backbone of the economy, and that is Rustenburg for you. A city that has got dreamers and shakers, people who dare to dream and contribute to the success of South Africa. I would like to welcome you to the Minister Stakeholders Engagement Session under the theme Developing Women and Youth Enterprise in the Construction Industry. Honorable Minister, this engagement session wouldn't have come at a better time than now, when our communities from the vast land and breadth of Bojanala and Rustenburg in particular, and the Northwest as a whole, are dying to gasp and are looking for opportunities in forms of employment, business opportunities, and skills development. We need to do business differently, and I hope that out of this engagement, we will be able to partner with the right stakeholders that are committed to transform to the growth and to the inclusiveness of the development of the construction industry. One can never overemphasize the importance of your department, Honorable Minister, its agencies and the industry itself in contributing to the economy of South Africa. Through the expanded public works program, we've seen millions of young people and women getting jobs, and we hope to expand on it. As we all know that the National Development Program requires us to create 11 million jobs by the year 2030. It is 9 million of the 11 million jobs that we aspire to create that will come from the SMMEs. Hence, as a small micro medium enterprises will remain the backbone of the South African economy, and we dare support such SMMEs who are keen on making sure that we take South Africa to greater heights. It is important to grow and transform the economy by assisting SMMEs from growing from micro to macro enterprises. Failure to do so will simply means that we have failed to realize the dream of South Africa and making it sure that we are able to include those who were previously advantaged into them, who were previously disadvantaged into the mainstream economy. Time and time again, Rustenburg and Northwest has proven its ability to overcome and to grow. Even though we are facing various challenges, we're still able to aspire and to do better. I welcome you to the city of Rustenburg, a city that carries our hopes. Welcome to the city of Rustenburg. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ntate. Rutlile, ga di dintja di pofilwe akere. Lutlile. Dintja di pofilwe, ga te re role ditlhako, re apole dibaki ebile go mogote. And chill. I want to acknowledge in our midst a very important woman, Minister, the Royal Highness Kgosigadi ya Batlokwa. In our midst. I think it is such a privilege to see a woman who's very important coming here to listen to the issues of women and how we plan to work together to actually improve the lives of women. When I was greeting her, Minister, she said to me, you know, thank you very much for this invite, because where there is women issues is my place, my favorite place to be. So thank you very much, ma'am, for honoring us with your presence. Sikalala sabakoni. Ow, kaula! On that note, I just want to check, just to make sure that everyone is also acknowledged. In our midst, we also have Bakai ba ngaka mudiri Mulema Bakai ngaka mudiri Mulema, can I see you? Opelanga look, say something. Aw Batswana. Ke tsarela itse go opela yana. Le re khabo mokhatla a ijebore. Huh? A re sentle. Khabo mokhatla a ijebore. Aseba mo ngaka modiri bao. Bujanala, where are you, Bujanala? Can I see Bujanala? Hey. Dr. KK District. Dr. KK. Dr. KK. Kilunabao. Dr. Ruth Romuti Mumpati. Okay. So, Minister, it looks like all the districts are represented here. Khonaleke lebeting. Kikai? Gauteng. Our gate crash away, no man. Thank you very much. You are all welcome. Can I see youth in construction? I've seen women. Can I see youth in construction? Bakai Basha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Mamela. Hello. Let's not waste time. I also want to acknowledge Minister in our midst. I can see that the future is bright in Northwest. I saw that you saw the young, very important person who was here. So it's a sign that the future is bright. So we even have in our midst young people from the school, Tulufelo Technical Secondary School, who are actually studying construction, Minister. They are studying construction from the grade 9. So construction industry's got a future. We have the future project managers here. So I just wanted to ensure that everybody has been acknowledged. And on that note, can I invite now May Tembeka Kolele. Tembeka Kolele is the acting chief director, construction project management in the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. She is going to refer just an idea of why we are here. Thank you so much, ma'am. You're welcome.
Molweni. Ay, ichon kakuhle molweni. It's my first time in Northwest, so I'm going to greet you because it's Heritage Month, Reverend Stemela. We can use our languages and it. Molweni, one more time. My name is Tembeka Kolele, Acting Chief Director for Construction Project Management. Today we are here, Program Director. Before I forget, I think I'm a little bit nervous. Before I forget, greetings to you, Program Director Mamustemele, Honorable Minister, Mr. Sikalala, Councillor Nonzaba, MMC LED for Rustenburg, and Honorable Mayor of Bonja District Municipality. Her Royal Highness, it's an honor to even sit next to you, ma'am. Her Royal Highness Christabella, colleagues, senior management of the department and other departments that are here, and esteemed guests, women in construction, youth in construction, I greet you all this morning. Today we are here to engage with black business in terms of the built environment and the opportunities that are here for the Northwest province. We will engage, we will have serious discussions, we're going to dance and sing, but we will also have serious discussions in terms of the opportunities that are there for the EPWP component of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. We would look at specific opportunities for women and youth. And I think I see a lot of men in the house. It's not that you are excluded, but today is specifically for the women and the youth in construction. We would look at the specific discussions around the opportunities in terms of the contractors, contractor developments, as well as the transformation agenda that is there for the Northwest province. We invite you then to join us, ask us questions. The difficult ones, we'll hand them over to the minister, but the easy ones we will take. So we are hoping that today's engagement will yield to fruitful business for the Northwest province. We do have a regional office in Northwest. It's called Mabato Regional Office. The RM for Mabato is here. The head of projects for Mabato is here. We will engage with you, esteemed guests, so that we can ensure that when we leave, you know what the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure stands for, including what opportunities are there for you. Please bear with us, because some of us are quite nervous to be in these platforms, Minister, but we are looking forward to these engagements, and we are really hoping our country needs to empower women more. An empowered woman will ensure that the country succeeds. I'm looking forward to seeing the young graduates from the high school of the technical environment. I'm technical myself, so you will learn from us, and you need to study further and ensure that you reach, I'm seeing future project managers and engineers. The Department of Public Works is here for you. But today, colleagues, we're looking forward to your, to engaging with you, and we are hoping that the opportunities we present to you will grab them with both your hands. And thank you, Reverend Stemela, for the opportunity, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we know why we are here, which means we need to focus, guys. We only have 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 hours. So we need to grab this opportunity. Opportunities, ne? Please, the more time we give to the speakers and we concentrate, the more we'll come out of here being equipped and ready to tackle this industry. So, and I've had the opportunity to go, actually to travel with Minister in Queenstown. He had the same gathering in Eastern Cape. He went to Western Cape. Okay. We had the same gathering in Eastern Cape, but so I want to say to you, let's those gatherings were very fruitful, and they are actually informing now what interventions we should put in place as a department, and as not only as a department, but as a sector and as an industry. So it's a very important, very, very important imbizo. And the approach that the minister have taken is that ubata imbizo, so that he can engage. He didn't want you to just be in a workshop where you are told this is what you are doing, but now you have the opportunity to engage with all the role players, with all the relevant people, with the minister himself, so that when we leave from here, we know exactly what we need to do. Oh, Siavan. Rautwana. Akira Savana. Kare Siavana. Kana akire na I'm a dual citizen. So kimutswana he miki na lebo tosanyana mote. So hakina ke takalilimi leskalawar. But leskala mpaka bana bethu. Ko Queenstown they were listening ba sa tlodi. So ke kopa leskebela mpaka hey batswana bona ba out of order. So we are here to celebrate. I'm going to invite just nje vavavum Yeah, traditional dance. We come and enjoy and celebrate our culture. These are the Tswana cultural dancers who are coming to entertain us. Please come. Tlayang bana bethu, tlayang bana bethu. Tlayang. Tlhabeletse. Thank you very much. There is a small announcement that I have to make. Okay. Hello. Dumelang. Hona le motho o tsamayang ka koloi ya KGC 838 Northwest. O thibile motho mo tseleng. He's got an emergency. Could you kindly move your car quickly? Somebody is packed behind or in front of you. He needs to leave urgently. He's got an emergency. Please, please, it's a medical emergency. So take it serious, my friend. Thank you very much, Banabaka. In our midst, I just want to acknowledge the presence of Councillor Sihle. Oh, Gary. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Ma. Now we are moving to a very important session now. We'll be having the panel discussions. I'm going to call here the panel members. Just check, some are already sitting there. But if I call your name, please move to the chairs this side. Mrs. Moagi. Mrs. Moagi she is the CEO of the Black Business Council in the built environment and the provincial chairperson. No, the provincial chairperson of Zwasaring. Thank you, Mama Colin. Miss Mema Nandi Makola is the provincial chairperson of SAWIC, South African Women in Construction. Please move to the panel, Mami. I know you have very difficult questions for us. We have okay. We also have the following. The two first speakers will be posing or raising issues of challenges faced by women and small enterprises in the Northwest and women in construction. Okay. And the following, ACD, Mekolele, Miss Kolele, you will be also be part of the panel. Please come and join us. We have Mr. Mokhatle from CIDB. Mr. Mokhatle, where are you? Hey, but now I'm not used to sit by the pulpit. Hey, you know, that's why I left the church, pulpits. I'm sorry, I keep on going all over the place. We have Mr. Kokong. Mr. Kokong from IDT. Are you here, Mr. Kokong? Oh. Pay me. It should be Mrs. Kokong. Pay me. Pay me. Sorry, my darling. And then we also have Ntate Hlahla from Sandra. Are you there? Thank you. And lastly, we have Mr. Makaukau. Mr. Makaukau from Vukupile. And Mr. Gill. What's going on now? There's something wrong there. Mr. Gill Oteng from the Provincial Department of Public Works and Roads. Okay. Maybe just a little bit of background that will actually guide us. Oh, pulpit. Oh, man. Hey, can I let pulpit? I just want to highlight that this Imbizo, even though it was still in our plans as the department, because we plan to go and travel all the provinces and have this kind of Imbizos. But during Women's Month, during August month, or just in July, preparing for Women's Month, there was a request from the BBCBE to meet the minister and discuss issues and challenges that they are facing in the Northwest as small enterprises, especially in the built environment, as well as the SAWIC members. And so that actually tried to guide us as to when we meet here today, what are the issues that really we need to address. I'm going to invite now the issue of small enterprise in Northwest not doing very well, especially in the construction and the built environment. There are many issues that they are going to highlight that we are aware of, that even ministers in other forums have been addressing. Issues of tendering, issues of advertisement of tenders, issues of lack of support from us officials, giving the contractors, especially for the small enterprises. And so we want today, we'll be hearing from the horse's mouth those issues and those challenges. You'll also have an opportunity to add in or to ask questions into these issues. And so Mama Moahi,
Honorable Minister, the MMC, protocol observed. Good morning, colleagues. I call you colleagues because I know that we are all in this difficult, hurtful journey. As the Black Business Council in the built environment, we took a decision to go to the minister's office and plead with him to say, Honorable Minister, we need your help. We are tired of coming to the sessions like this without any results. It was in 2019 when I was still the provincial chairperson of South African Women in Construction in this province, when we met with the current MEC. We raised the same challenges. And I'm sure most of you here have raised the same challenges in different platforms. And we find ourselves again coming to raise the same challenges. But when we spoke to the Honorable Minister, he assured us that today we are going to have meaningful discussions with practical action plan. We did mention to him the challenges that we have in the province. As a business person in this province, we all know that there are a lot of opportunities in construction and also in infrastructure. But it's unfortunate that we do not find joy and support from our department across, not only the public works. And we are saying today, it's not like we are hungry to come here and have lunch and coffee and scones. We are here because we have hope in the Honorable Minister that is going to change this mindset of undermining the small businesses in this province. Today we're talking about BRICS. We're talking about political declaration. We're talking about sustainability development summits. I like what the president of this country said in that summit, that they want to do the audit for all USA companies that are in South Africa. Apparently there are more than 600. And I normally say in the platforms that we have as the BBCBE, when I look at Northwest, I see Northwest as it's been treated as they treat Africa in this world. Northwest, let's do the audit. We'll find that a lot of companies, they are not from Northwest. They are not from Northwest. And yet, we are living in this poverty. Everything that the government is trying to do to secure business for the previously disadvantaged people, it's been challenged by your Afri-business. We have a lot of forums, you know, like church. You know, not because I'm from church background, I'm the pastor in my church. The churches, every corner they are there, but they are fighting. The business chambers, the forums, they are every corner and they are fighting. What is wrong with us? So we are saying, as the BBCBE, we are together in this. We were launched last year. The BBCBE has been there since 2007, but on the national level. But we have been launched and we want to make a difference. We want to say to you, all the challenges that we have, hey, that person won't disturb. All the challenges that we have raised in the office of the ministry, they've assured us they've got answers for us today. We cannot keep on going like this. Every year we have different themes. I was even telling my colleagues that every year is different themes, different events, and reports, but no implementation. What is the problem? Is it us or is it our stakeholders? Where do we meet each other halfway? If there's no more capacity, where do they capacitate us so that we can assist on the ground? Because we speak for those who can't speak for themselves. And we are asking a question, that how long are we going to live like this? 1956 women, they fought for their freedom by that time. Today we are still fighting for economic freedom, 67 years later. 1975, the youth again, they fought for their freedom. Today, 47 years later, the youth is still fighting. What is wrong? Is it us or is it our leaders? We need to engage. Let's open the discussions and help each other. We are black people. It cannot be that our white counterpart, they take us as if we can't think. It's about time we become decisive. It's about time we understand what we want. The petrol is increasing almost every 2 months. Some of you, they had to borrow money to come here. Did you come here for food? Did you come here for food? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, so we are here. We are here and we believe that we are going to have a very meaningful discussion. The red tapes that we see, the red tapes that are placed so that we don't get help,
Dumelang, dumelang. Hello. Okay, okay. Ari tsweleleng. Kopa le neng hatse bagaetsho. Ari neng fatshe. Let us collect ourselves. Mamelang, mamelang. Hello? 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 All right. All right. Do we want solutions? Bagaetsho. Bagaetsho. Ka Setswana gatwe. Pile diwa ya lwer. Re tsang bagaetsho. Re batla di solutions a kere. Re batla go reetsa mathata a lona a kere. Re batla go tlisa di interventions a kere. So if we do this, a re ithuse ka sepe. Kopa ba ba kwa ntle a kwa le tseneng mo teng. Bagaetsho. Bagaetsho. Batswana. Batswana. Bagaetsho. Women in construction. Men in construction. Ari utlwaneng. Somebody is talking. Mamelang. Ari utlwaneng batsadi. Motswana are. Ntakgolo ke ya eng? Motswana a reng? Ntakgolo ke ya eng? Re kopa go reetsa matshwenyego a lona. Re tle re kgone re thusaneng go tla ka ditharabololo. A re thusaneng, a re tlotlaneng. Ke a le bona. Ne ke re ba bangwe ba didima le tle ba le reetse. A re utlwaneng. A re tlotlaneng. Re reng re tswale tiro. A le batla re tswale. Ke ba mama ba batlang go tswalela. Ke ba mama ba batlang go tswalela. Ke batla go bona gore a ke tswale tiro.
There's nothing you can do here. Nothing.
Ke rile le tla bua jang, le tla bua jang batho ba thuse modumo. Ka re ba didima le batla ba le utlwe. Reetsa matsadi. Ke ba batsadi.
I'm the HOD for the province. Hello, sorry colleagues. Dumelang bagaetsong. Hello. Arretsaning bagaetsong. My name is Mos Khanti. I'm the My name is Mos Khanti. I'm the HOD for Public Works in the Northwest Province. Minister, this is a bad reflection on us in the province. I was with you, business people, both from the consulting and the building side and the roads. I requested you, I invited you, some of you, that the minister will be visiting. The opportunity that we must grab is to raise our issues so that we can increase the budget of province. So how do you Can we just sit down and listen to the minister and listen to the team ya minister? And Ardulem fella for fatsel, Hotana dipotso, and then let Abota dipotso, Kikopakatso, Bakaitsung, Leskela Tabisa di Tonkana Hoete Rona. Menza Buagasona, Fakana Hoete Rona, Harahani Retezi, but whenever Lebansimo begins to be but there was order. Can we please proceed and give Mes Bagasahubua and then resolving whatever challenges that you guys are raising? Humble plea, and then Rekobita Minister meeting whatsoever. Kidi Tong fella to the Tabisan di Tong Bakaitsung. Koreketama, I really did say Motohong. So, Rekabota di Poto Bakaiton, Rekabota di Poto young meeting with Susimole. Yes, can we hear you maybe? Let's just stabilize the meeting. I know right one large with up.
Okay, Dumela.
Continue fa tsamaya ka re bile claim gore wa representa mo Northwest nna re tsore le mo appointile gae ga iseng ka batle le rona mo Rustenburg a re bolele gore ke so sa business seo. That's why batho ba tla fa ba tlo re senyetsa event gore wa ba kolota ke tsone tsotso tsa di tsayang kwa fa ra shorele gore ge re continue ga dina bokao le batho ba ba ge ba re tswele pele ga ra tlela bone. Thank you.
You have that assurance from ourselves. I think I've been talking to the leadership here. Mama like a meeting. Yeah, when no remotely like a remotely are meeting. I think remotely like a meeting bahaitsung are le haribotsa dipotso. Risk disrespect the mayor emikopele. In now kokare rebato ba re nyatsang bagolo so ke kopa gore re fe metšhono a tswelleng re dule mo fatshe a re tswelleng ka meeting aba ba kolotana ba tswe mo meeting ba gaitsong as a belief because ke nna hela ke nagana gore ke kolota batho ba ba ntsifa yana ke tsore ba ba kolotang ba bangwe ke ba eng go siame ge a re tswelleng akere a re tswelleng with the meeting please.
Thank you. Okay. Ra tswalela kere. Re dumalang ra tswalela ne? Ne re santse re na le mme CEO ya BBCE. Mme, can you come and continue? Are re tsene. Re batla go tswa hana re na le di answera. I see the answer, at least have a direction for what is the way forward.
Okay, thank you so much. And apologies for what has just happened. And I believe we are all here. We are going to get exactly the answers that we are looking for. I think our program director, I'm going to stop there and wait for the panel discussion to start. Thank you.
The next speaker is going to, just highlight, as we all know that women, we are facing triple challenges. In whatever challenges of inequality, of unemployment, women are the most hit. And so, even in the construction industry, you can agree with me, Mewa Sawiki, the reason why you came together as a formation was to actually address and see how do you enhance the participation of women in the industry. Can you please come and share with us those challenges that women are facing in this industry? Okay, me wa sa week. Ki shebile kwa bona. Come me, just share with us.
Halala Northwest halala. Halala basadi halala. Halala kumo halala. Hey, go tlo go nna busula ke bua ya nong ke ntse re tlo go addressa di issues tsa rona a re itse re ke matlo go di tsayang because nna ke mo siting e ka halela ke le kamo. So ne ke batla gore ha re bua go nne le motho. Oh mara e chodu sentse a le teng. Okay, no ke a leboga. Ke rata dumedisa batho botlhe ba mo mokone bophirima. Ke dumedise le bo mme le bo ntate ba rona ba mo mokone bophirima. When I start this topic here today, ke tlo sumula fela ka relationship. I wanted to talk about the relationship here on le public works, HOD. The relationship here on le public works, really women in construction, it's not working for us as a woman in construction. It's only one-sided because public works e ritsi fela ha ba batla go dira di report tsa gore bana le basadi ba tetse yana mo holong. From there, after basina gore fa di training, because I think everyone here also got the training tsa public works tsa supply chain, to do the document, how to do 1, 2, 3. But after was now refer skills, what are you doing, Karuna Relevasad? Because of, I think, out of 100%, 90% here, Yabasadi, they are in grade 1, all of them. And with the budget, every time, Riabona, or every time there's a problem with spending, yeah, more public works, but there are women who are willing to work in our province. HOD, ke kopa go fa moletsa o tswang ko basading, especially ba organization e ke tswang ko go yone. Basadi ba sa wiki ba re ba rutegile thata ke di workshop tsa gago ba leboga go menagane. Basadi ba sa wiki ba re o ba batla gore ba kopa ha ba batle ba kopa gore o ba leke go strateng. Ba kopa go rwala makrapa a bone le di overall tsa bone HOD. Ga ba tlile meeting yana ba go ja ra go ja di plate gona no ga re fetsa re ya gae re tshwere ke tlala HOD bana ba tsena go tlunga gona sepe. So ne ke nagana gore in your programs tse le di dirang, like you were saying gore Vukuphila is a program ya startang ka from grade 1 to grade 5. So as a chairperson, yes, a week in this province, I'm pleading with you, HOD, can we have a program for women in 4 districts? Any program, because I don't think any program whereby we monitor women in construction, at least the grade 1 it's more northwest. This way from grade 1. Grade 3 and the project that's women, the other message from women in some week we have grade 6, we have grade 7s. They were also saying they can do everything. So nakanang gore basadi bakasdira HOD. So let's go ke dichono because we can come every day, re tla dira di talk shows ena le the department re tla re tlo go bua sekgowa re irang, but the problem is implementation. Women, like re tlo bua today, ne ke kopa le today ha re sena go bua re ne le a framework ya gore whatever since le besitswa go departmenteng se ya ko bathong when because the other thing, or how many times Vukuphila advertisiwa, but akona appointment every time gore tle re bona fela, we don't even get notification gore there's a problem or there's a 90 days elapses or what. We'll see another advert e buang ka Vukupil, and our women, they are complaining HOD. Rena le mathata a serious mo Northwest because ga o ka ya ko Buphirima as a chairperson ya sa week ke na le region e nngwe ya Buphirima, basadi ba teng they are willing go bereka HOD, basadi ba teng ba itirela dilonyana tse dinnyane, but they don't get any support from government, which is a problem e re na le yone. Re na le basadi le mo Rustenburg mona ba sa week ba ne ba ikgobokantshitse, some of them ba tswa go reka michini ya TLB HOD because they are willing gore ba batla go bereka. So ne ke kopa gore ha re tswa mo HOD re kopela se se wane rona ga re batle dio tse dintsi, re batla mmereko, ga re batle mmereko wa dibilone, re batla fela re ka kgatekeng ra kgaogana tlhogo ya tsi ke December na le mathata HOD le bana ba re shebile. We've got so many things that ready dire HOD. Na re kopa fela ke boikuela gore basadi re kopa go thusiwa go department tsa gago HOD. And the other thing HOD, my secretary since o tsena ko officing a go kwalla makwalo a kopa gore re kopane gore re kgone gore re bue dikgang tse dingwe tsa rona sentle, but we never get any positive response or any communication from your office. Can you make sure gore o kopa gore o re thuse o bule line of communication with you, because we are structures se re batlang gore re bereke dilo ka tsela le wena HOD, re batla go thusa gore re spend the budget e boelang ko morago every year. Re ready basadi, ha re ready basadi, re ready, ne re kopa o re leke HOD ka mafoko ke re ke a leboga.
Thank you, ma'am. Re lebogela HOD utlwile. I just want to also reassure you, maybe just so that you can see that the minister may not be here, but the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure is here. The Department of Northwest Public Works and Roads. Let me just do this. I see the DDG is here. Okay, Tate Muremi. Tate Muremi? Okay. Uti. Tate Muremi Temuru Namo. Tate Ignatius Ario is the acting DDG EPWP. Kena Munga Vukupil. So has Minister Akai was a thing, but he oversees EPWP in the whole South Africa. So all the issues that will be EPWP related, he is here to take them up. Mepe Chula, we've got the officials of Public Works, Mepe Chula Maketa from IGR, Ellen Kachoy from Gender Unit, Memangwana IGR, Kupaleme, because they think that they are talking Kabobone. I just want to see this official. These are senior officials, the department, Kupaleme Lemba Zadiban. Kibao Bateng, the officials, regional manager of Public Works, Amafikeng, okay? He's here, he's somewhere here, because he's the host, maybe he's running around. Introduce them Mekolole from the construction project management. Construction project management, you are a branch here, actually the projects. Say the cool. So uteng haleskala taba go botsa ka di projects tse mentsa bua ka tsone ha. Ntate Gil ke o uteng, he's from the provincial department. Le eno teng utlwile Ntate Gil, utlwile batho ba ga go ba re re ba batla gore ba go thusa go spenda. Ke le bala le mang ke just make sure the minister is very much represented. The advisor was here, the ministry was here, chief director supply chain was here. I saw him Lene. I think maybe they are just still trying to sort out taba e ntse e etsahala. But the department is very well represented. Ra utlwana batsadi, ha le sa bone minister le ska la nahana hore na le dikgang tsa lona ga dina go tsewa tsia. Ke tlo go remove ana mo staging sa bobedi mo discussion tsa rona, which is going to address transformation matters. These are people that are going to tell us about those programs, those interventions that they have. Remember, as the Department of Public Works, we do have entities. Because they implement the work of the department. We have CIDB, we have IDT in our midst. They will also be here to actually just share with you what other programs that we have. We also have Sandral in our midst. Remember, Sandral is part of the infrastructure development entity, though it is the entity of roads. But we, as an infrastructure entity, they do with construction. And so they're also here to come and also just hear about your issues. So we are not, all is not lost, Batsadi Baka. Ra utlwana akere? So re teng, menagano e teng re tlo thusana mo netlane. So here they are. I'm going to start with Mekolele from the construction project management branch in the department, who is going to just share with us a little bit of the programs and the projects that we have in our department.
Good afternoon once again. Ebo, molweni. Molweni kwakhona. Okay. We prepared a presentation for you, but I'm going to try and summarize it to inform you about the opportunities that we have as the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. My colleagues will also do the same. Now, in order for us to respond to the need for women and youth, the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure has an SCM policy, that's a supply chain management policy. That's a supply chain management policy that would look at the preferential points for women, specifically for women and youth. In terms of the preferential points that we are now implementing, when we advertise a project that has a preferential point, that is what, between from 0 to actually 50 million, hey? We have an 80-20 strategy. Women can actually qualify 10 points for being black and 4 points for being a woman, 2 points for being youth, and 2 points for being a person with a disability. But for bigger projects, we have a 90-10 preferential system. In that system, the 10 points, which seems a bit low, but it gives you an advantage when you tender for our projects. We have 10 points. On the 10 points, 4 points for being black, 51% black ownership. Then you get 2 points for being a company that has 51% women ownership. 2 points for companies that have 51% companies that are owned by youth, and 2 points for locality, or 2 points for people with disability. Now, in our procurement plan, I'm going to talk at a national level, then I'm going to come down to the Northwest province. In our procurement plan, we have 116 projects nationally that are on the procurement plan that we need to procure in the current financial year. The current financial year ends at the end of March 2024, which means between now and March 2024, we have 116 projects that we need to advertise. Of the 116 projects that we need to advertise, the value of those projects is about 3.3 billion. And in the 3.3 billion, 40% of those projects are earmarked for women and youth. I'm going to let that sink in. 40% of our procurement plan is earmarked for women and youth, which means every woman that has a construction company, every person, young person that has a construction company can actually a tender for those projects. Now, my colleague, acting DDG EPWP, will talk to you about the training opportunities that are there and the skills that you need in order for you to succeed when you receive these projects. Because it's important that when you are awarded that tender, you must run that project from start to finish. Akir, let's say that louder. You must, because we cannot have situations where you are awarded a contract and you come in today after the first payment certificate, you run away and you leave our site unattended. And no, I need you to agree. Yes. So in as much as these opportunities are there, it's important for you to actually hold on to them for dear life. Now, the 40% that has been set aside, initially the department did not have a policy that was responsive to this need. However, the Chief Director, SCM, who was here with us to provide support, assured us that the policy is being updated so that the projects would be set aside. That 40% that I was talking about would be set aside. You're not going to be tendering with the men. I'm sorry, gents in the house, but the 40% is specifically set aside for women of all grades. It's not going to be only for higher grades. I heard Umama Wasesawik talking about grade 1s only. Our projects, and the department has projects from the smallest value from grade 1 up to grade 9. So those opportunities would be set aside specifically for women and youth. Now, over and above this, the department is actually putting a panel of contractors together. On that panel, 40% of that panel must be women. So it means when these opportunities are advertised, you need to look out for them and you need to apply. If you need help, all the departments, I'm sure HOD, there are people in the departments, even locally, that would be able to assist you if you need assistance with the documentation, filling in the documents, and ensuring that all the compliance is in order, and making sure that you apply for the correct grade or for the correct area that you qualify for. So specifically for Northwest, I'm summarizing a 40-page slide, so I'm going to just focus on Northwest. Specifically for Northwest, we have 123 projects as the department, National Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, and those projects are basically for Northwest region. Those projects are worth 1.3 billion. And 1.3 billion is not for one project. It's not for one project, it's for 123 projects. So it means if you have 100 contractors in Northwest, maybe all 100 contractors can be appointed. But if you cannot be appointed as a main contractor, apply as a subcontractor. Clap together. I heard Umama CEO and Umama CEO talking about us fighting. Let's stop fighting now. It's time for us to work. It's time for us to grab these opportunities. It's time for us to use these opportunities to our advantage, because we are tired, and we are tired of being hungry. So if you are tired, beka fights aside and focus on the work that needs to be done. If the 2 grade 1s need to be put together to qualify for a specific project, do it. 50-50 joint venture agreement. The CIDB will probably talk to you about what opportunities are there for for joint ventures. There's a calculator on the system. Use the equipment that we have as government for you to be able to qualify for the opportunities that we are presenting. So between now and the end of March, we need, as the department nationally, to advertise 116 projects, but currently the Northwest region is only planning 123, which means they're at various stages of planning. If we don't achieve the 123 this year, some of them will be advertised next year. Now, our main clients in Northwest for national government, it's SAPS, Department of Home Affairs, we have SASA, and we also have the Department of Correctional Services, as well as the Department of Justice. So if you receive a project to work in a courtroom, You cannot disappoint us. You need to take that project and make sure that you complete it, because those are the services that you use as the people of Northwest. Siyavana ke ngoku, my esteemed guest. I know that this does not make you very happy, but it is hope. And as black people, we've been taught how to be hopeful, and we take that hope and we use it and convert it into energy that will assist us in achieving what we need to achieve. We are tired of poverty. Government is also tired of poverty, and we are here to assist you. I'm going to pause here and wait for the questions and the interaction that we're going to have. Thank you very much.
Ntate Mokgatle, CIDB.
Dumelang bagolo. Dumelang bagetso. Thank you. Leina ke Jeffrey Mokgatla ke tlhagakele ko CIDB. Yeah. Leina ke Jeffrey Mokgatla ke tlhagakele ko CIDB. I think, colleagues, before I get into what I want to talk about, let me start by reminding you what the CIDB mandate is. The mandate of the CIDB is to regulate the construction industry. In fact, as CIDB, we reserve two goals. We regulate the construction industry and we develop the construction industry. That is our sole mandate. And then in terms of the assistance, we provide assistance to our clients. As there's 4 clients, only 4. 1, infrastructure departments, municipalities, enterprises, and the last one, which is very important, those are our contractors. So as the CIDB, we serve those 4 clients, we provide them with assistance. We also, in terms of assisting our clients, one of the activities that we do is that we assist our clients, infrastructure departments, in terms of how to implement contractor development programs. Recently, the Department of Public Works advertised the contractor development program. The Department of Education advertised 2 contractor development programs. The Department of Health, they implemented a contractor. Hello. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I'm saying that as the CIDB, we assist our clients in terms of implementing the contractor development programs. Recently, the Provincial Department of Public Works, they implemented or they advertised a contractor development program. The Department of Education, they also advertised 2 contractor development programs. The Department of Health, they also advertised the contractor development program. Our role as the CIDB is to assist them, is to guide them on how do they go about implementing those contractor development programs. We have developed the guidelines on how contractors or how clients implement contractor development programs. That document is there on the CIDB website, and each and every client is able to access that particular document to help them, to guide them on how do they go about implementing those contractor development programs. As the CIDB, we host the register of projects and we also host the register of contractors. The South African Constitution, it simply says procurement must be transparent. So in terms of transparency, it is a requirement that all clients, when they start to implement any procurement related project, that project must be advertised on the CIDB register of projects. So once the clients implement any construction related project, that project is should be advertised on the CIDB register of projects. Like I've indicated, we also register contractors. Each and every client that wants to do business with government, they are required by law to register with the CIDB on the CIDB register of contractors, because that is the database where clients, they draw contractors to be awarded any procurement related projects. And as the CIDB, we are in the process of amending our CIDB regulations. We are amending the CIDB regulations. In terms of the regulations, we are saying that we want to decrease the burden on contractors. When I say we want to decrease the burden on contractors, we are simply saying that when contractors apply for any tender, any infrastructure project, they only need to provide the Department of Price. Instead of every time when you apply for any tender, you have to provide the client with your ID, provide the client with your company document, with your tax clearance. We are simply saying those documents, they should be there on the client's database. They are on the CIDB database. So what we are saying is that you only have to provide the price of implementing that particular project. So in short, we want to decrease the burden on contractors. We are also saying that we want to introduce the competency requirements. I think, Barreto, you'll agree with me that each and every one, whether you've got the skill, whether you've got the knowledge, whether you've got the experience, you are allowed to register for any project on the CIDB register of contractors. So we are simply saying that to avoid the projects being abandoned, to avoid projects not being completed, to avoid projects not being done according to quality requirements, we want to introduce competency requirements to ensure that the contractors whom we register on the CIDB register of contractors, they are competent, they are qualified, they are experienced, and they are able to complete the projects that they will be awarded. Our amendments, CIDB regulations amendments, we are also saying that we want to regulate on downgrading. Not downgrading, Baholo, downgrading. Downgrading, it simply says that we want to regulate higher contractors must be excluded in implementing lower level projects. So basically, we request, okay, we would like to request that higher level contractors must only go 2 levels down, which simply means if you are on grade 7, do a project of grade 5 and above. And then you only go 2 levels down. If you are grade 9, you only go down until grade 7. The rest must be implemented by lower level contractors.
Two business people from KK. Sorry for interruption. Ba KK, ba le babedi, ba handle. Go na le ntate wa periskipa se blue handle. KK, business people, ba tswa go KK. Ba kae? Ba kae? Go paletsweng handle ha le ka speed nyana ho. La ba tlo handle. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah. Bakhetsu. Re tswella pele. We are also in that we also want to regulate on the foreign-owned enterprises. we want to regulate on the foreign-owned enterprises. We are simply saying foreign-owned companies, they must only be allowed to implement the projects of grade 9. Grade 9 and grade 9 only. The rest must be left to our people in South Africa. We are also saying that as the CIDB, we want to regulate the private sector. All private sector projects that are above 10 million must also be regulated by the CIDB, and they must be reported on the CIDB register of projects. We are also saying that we want to combine, in terms of upgrading on the CIDB register of contractors. If you are a contractor, you will know that for you to be able to upgrade to grade 2, you need to have implemented the project of 130,000. We are saying, and that project of 130,000 is the whole project. It's not 50 plus 80. Now we are saying we want to bring 80 plus 50 for you to be able to upgrade to a higher CIDB grading levels. We are also saying, we want to make things very simple for contractors in terms of tender briefings. Simple projects, very simple, like your fencing. Simple projects, you don't need to attend any tender briefing. O start the also tender briefing ka fencing or whatever the simple project might be. We are saying those simple projects must not be a requirement for contractors to attend tender briefings. You simply apply, give the client your price to implement that particular project. So those are the current regulations that we are currently embarking, colleagues. We hope that in that so distant future, some of these things, some of these regulations will be achieved. That brings me to the end of my presentation, Bahul. Thank you.
Mayor Kokong from IDT.
Good afternoon. Dumelang. Hello, Alan Kutwa. Dumelang Baholo. A special greeting to Bomme. I think I'm technologically challenged. Lang Kutwa Yano. La nkutla ya no mbagolo na kitse ya no dumelang bagolo. A special greeting to bomme ya ka ke le mme le nna nna leina la ka ke Phemi Kgokong. I work for the IDT. Nalina Lagake Phemi Kgokong. I work for the IDT. I'm the regional manager in the Northwest. I'm just going to give you a brief background in terms of IDT and what IDT does. IDT is an implementing agent. It's a government entity which implements programs and projects on behalf of government. We are a Schedule 2 entity reporting to Department of Public Works, National. I think I think you I think particularly the one from Public Works to say thanks IT technologists to
I think my colleague from Public Works has already mentioned that there is new prescript, triple PFA 2022. I just also want to indicate and mention that as IDT, we have also reviewed our supply chain policy in line with the new prescripts, which is the triple PFA year 2022. What we have done as an implementing agent, we have also paid a specific focus on the specific goals. In terms of the specific goals, our specific goals are particularly looking at basadi, youth, as well as people living with disability. And I also want to confirm that in terms of our current policy, when we advertise for each and every tender, more points are being allocated to women as compared to the previous policy. In terms of our supply chain policy, we are trying to help women in a sense that 6 points are being allocated to women-owned company. We further allocate 6 points to youth-owned company, and we also allocate 4 points to people living with disability, as well as 4 points to any other company owned by male. Meaning when you tender competitively as a woman, you will definitely get more points as opposed to the companies that are owned by men. I also want to indicate that over and above that, as IDT nationally, we advertise for contractor development. It was advertised March. It closed April, and appointment letters were issued. In terms of the CDP, the panel is particularly looking at or prioritizing women-owned companies as well as youth. I also want to indicate that our supply chain policy is structured in such a way that if we were to get more projects from the department, as you all know that as IDT, we do not necessarily have our own projects. We rely on the departments to give us projects so that we can implement on their behalf. We're also looking at our mother department being DPW to say we're pleading with DPW, please assist us with the project. As I was saying, our policy is able to, it's empowering us in a sense that we are able to specify tenders that will be awarded or competed by women-owned companies only. In that case, I think we are in support of the reviewed triple PFA 2022. I also want to confirm that currently we've got projects. We're currently working with the Department of Education. And as you all know, the Department of Education advertised for a panel of contractors. As IDT, we will be working in conjunction with the department to allocate or to assist contractors that are appointed or forming part of the Department of Education database through the projects that they have allocated to us. In that case, I think I will end there because as IDT, we do not have projects that are our own. We largely depend on the provincial departments as well as the national departments to give us projects so that we can implement and assist our people. Thank you.
I can relate to the notes. The question is ready. The post is ready. Kitlo fawa tate wa Sandral And then Vukupile, then Keretanamud or Lintateo Gili from the province Len Arab Lekadi project facility upcoming opportunities. And then Libeli Rikiberi Putone. Rautlan. Thank you. Ntate Hlatla from Sandra.
All right. Okay, I hope you can all hear me. So I'll try to be quick. Afternoon to everyone, our attendees, our political leadership, our captains of industry. I had quite a big presentation prepared today, but I think with the setup here, I won't be able to go through with you through the slides. However, I'm going to break it down into areas that are easier to follow. So I will go in threes. What I really want to talk to you about, is it, oh, close. Okay, but can you hear me in the back? Okay, good. So I will try to make it easy to follow what I want to say. So I'll go in threes, because I think three is a easy number to recall. So I'll talk to you about three things. The first one is procurement in general, and subcontracting in particular. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is what we call project governance, or what happens around active SANRAL projects. So that's the second thing. The third thing I want to talk to you about is about SMME training and what other types of trainings that we have. That's the third thing. The part of me talking to this requires me to give some form of context. So I will start with that context. SANRAL is responsible for around 2,600 kilometers of road network in the Northwest. So you're all aware the Northwest has got 18 local municipalities, 4 districts, making it 22 and so on. So out of all those municipalities, we are responsible for only 2,600 kilometers, approximately. So that's the context. And we run on all the projects that we have, or on the roads we have here. There is an active routine road maintenance, or in short, RRM project on every kilometer of the road we own. There are those kind of projects. This is where you see people doing pothole patching, grass cutting, clearing of drains, litter picking, and so on. So that is, in general, the context. Now, let's talk about procurement in general and then subcontracting in particular. So we advertise our tenders at a national level. If you go to the SANRAL website, www.nra.co.za, you'll be able to see all advertised tenders nationally, countrywide. You will see them there. And we also, on the CIDB website, you will see all our opportunities are also there. So if you go there and you have a look, you'll see the information there. And if you follow National Treasury, there's an office called the Office of the Chief Procurement Officer, something along those lines. There's what we call an annual procurement plan, or APP. That tells you for all departments, not just SANRAL, what projects or what contracts are coming or what tenders are planned for the year. So you also will see a lot of SANRAL information there. So that is, in general, at a national level, where we advertise. If you were to Google SANRAL tenders at any point in time, you'll be able to get a lot of information there. You don't really have to subscribe to any of these other subscription services to get information on SANRAL. Our website has enough information. CIDB has enough information. Treasury has enough information. So when we advertise, you will see the tender on Treasury, you will see the tender on CIDB, you will also see the tender on the SANRAL website. Okay. That is procurement in general. Now, subcontracting in particular. On all projects, since 1st of April 2017, when the PPPFA kicked in, I know there's been constitutional rulings and so on that have affected it around pre-qualification. But I'm talking about it in terms of subcontracting. So on all our tenders, you will see that there is a 30% subcontracting requirement. Every tender we issue out to the market, 30% of that must be subcontracted. And in some tenders, for example, in routine road maintenance, the subcontracting can be up to 50% or even 60%. And in special types of projects, for example, what we call community development projects, and I'll talk about these community development projects or CD projects a bit later on when I talk about training. In these projects as well, subcontracting can be up to 80%. So these are more of a management contractor type of arrangement where the main contractor is just there to manage a lot of subcontractors we want them to train. And I'll talk why that is relevant. All right, so how do we then ensure when we subcontract, let's say on a 100 million rand project, we want to ensure that 30 million of that is earmarked for local SMMEs. How do we do that as Sandra? We are going again to that rule of 3. I'm going to talk about 3 things we do in the evaluation of subcontractor contracts. The first part is what we call eligibility. The second part is what we call functionality. The third part is what we call price and preference. And these are usually the same across many organizations in the country. So on eligibility is things like, are you registered with the CIDB, for example? Do you have a tax, are you registered for tax purposes? And are you registered with the Department of Labor and so on? There are all these requirements that are there if you are running a company. So these are things that we look at. Eligibility also looks to some extent, are you the correct CIDB level and so on. So these are things that make you eligible to tender. Do you have the right BE certificate or affidavit? Are you the right type of people we have said, we've specified in the tender? So that's the first part, eligibility. The second part, which is now key to ensuring that subcontracts are for the local SMMEs, is called functionality. So functionality is 100 points. The threshold for you to be evaluated further is 75 points or 75%. So what this means is, if you don't get 75 points on functionality, you will not be evaluated further. You're out of the running. Now, functionality, now I'm coming back to the rule of 3. Functionality itself is broken down into 3 areas. The first has to do with the locality. Where do you stay? Where is your business staying or registered? Where do they have their operating offices? And this usually takes up to 60 points. So 60 points of functionality have to do with the locality. The locality is broken down into various different areas. If I had a table, I'll show you now. For example, are you in the correct local municipality? If you are not in the local municipality, but you're in the district municipality, we are reducing points. If you are not in the district municipality, but you're in the province, we are reducing points. And if your overall points you score eventually do not get to 75, you're out. So we protect local SMMEs by ensuring that 60 points or 60% of the points required to make functionality are locality or locality based or location based. The next category we look at is the CIDB grading. This normally takes about 30 points. So if the tender or the opportunity is for a grade 2 and you are grade 4, we reduce your points so that you don't make the 30 points. If it's for a grade 3 and you are grade 1, we reduce your points. So you need to tender for your correct grade. We don't want people moving around grades. So you must tender for your correct grade. So that's what we also do. And then the third part we look at is what we call designated groups. These are things like people with disabilities, for example, youth, for example, women, for example, or military veterans. So we also look into those areas and say, we are going to allocate the last 10 points to deal with these particular areas so that you then, we then count all this in these 3 categories, we then count up or add up everything and then see if you make the threshold. If you don't make the threshold, you're out. So that's where we are in terms of that part. Now, so that's in summary subcontracting and how we ensure that subcontracting is given to local SMMEs. I'm going to the second part of my presentation or my talk, which is project governance. Now, all these things I've spoken about, someone needs to make sure or to check that they are being followed. So what we do is on every project, there's a PLC or a project liaison committee. Its primary role is to ensure that information about the project is provided to the community and to those in industry who want to work on the project. So that is the PLC's primary role. A PLC has no power to determine who gets a tender. So if anyone in a PLC says to you they can make a plan, they are lying, they have no authority, they do not evaluate tenders, they have zero say. The only say they have is, if we say there's a company A who has made functionality and maybe who has made the 90-10 points for preference, which I have not spoken to, because I think you're all aware of the 90-10 or 80-20. That's quite usual. In terms of that, if you have made it and we're about to appoint you and you say you are locally based, the PLC now has a duty to look at the database that is there from the municipality or that they would have created to say, is this company locally based? If the company is not locally based, that's when we kick you out. If you have falsified the documents. But sometimes people come up with all these proof of residence, which is quite fake or that is falsified. So the PLC plays that check to say, do you know this company? Are they really based here? Yes, we got their documents. Can we double check and make sure that this company does not come from another province and are just lying that they are from the local municipality? So that is the role they play. But their primary role is to make sure information about the project is spread. So that is part of project governance. And linked to the PLC are two other platforms that are relevant. There's what we call a project management team that comprises the contractor, the engineer, and Sandra. That is also responsible for all the evaluations of the tenders and all the checks that are there legally that need to be applied on a tender process. And Sandra, again, is a member of the PLC and chairs the PLC. So Sandra plays both roles, and all these other colleagues as well, or the PMT itself is a member of the PLC. All right, and linked to the PMT and the PLC is the PLO, obviously, the project liaison officer, who is also appointed with the assistance of the PLC and to a very large extent with the municipality, so that they also ensure that information is disseminated. The PLO and the PLC assist us in making sure when we get labor, for example, that the process is fair and the people are from the affected municipality and so on. So this is what we then deal with. Now, the third part of my talk, SMME training. So we train in different ways. So one of the ways in which we train is we are running now a national training tender. As part of this national training tender across the whole country, when we are done it's a 3-year tender, that we have already appointed trainers and they are busy going around all provinces, making sure people participate in training. In terms of this training, our estimates say when we are done, we would have trained about 48,000 people. The number we have is actually 48,180 that we want to train. And as part of that, the people we are training are, to some extent, people who own companies and to some extent, people who don't own companies. But we will be training a lot on business acumenship, how to manage construction projects, how to run construction projects, how to deal with things like productivity, etc. Okay, I'm going to wrap up now. Okay. So that's what we then do. So when we were looking in the Northwest, there were 2,183 companies that are in grades 1 to 4 that could be eligible to participate in this training. So please pay attention to our Sanra website. Keep an eye out because from there, there's an SMME link or a website that is linked to our national website where we deal with opportunities for SMME, where we deal with training for SMMEs and so on. And then the next part of training is what we do in community or CD projects, where if these projects can take about 2 or 3 years, you come in as a grade 1, we want to train you until you exit as a grade 3 or a grade 4. So you train, you work, you train, you work, you train, you work. And we're also rolling out a lot of these projects and you will start to see them. This is where the subcontracting is up to 80% because the main contractor's role is purely to train you. And as you come in and out of this, you'll then be able to participate in other tenders. I think because of time, I think we are constrained for time. I will end there, and if there are questions, I'll take them later. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for pressurizing you, but we have to move fast so that we give the people enough time to ask questions. Can I also ask that somebody who's driving JJM 452 Northwest, it's an Audi A4. Please go and check on there's smoke. Please go and check your car. Please, JJM 452 Northwest. Utlwile akere? Udule. Thank you. Ntate Makaukau, Lintate Gil, you are the last two speakers before the questions. Can I ask that we so that maybe the most of the discussion will be related to your area, most of the questions so that you don't repeat yourself. The other thing is that because of safety reasons, we need to be cautious of that, of time. Thank you, colleagues. Ntate Makaukau.
Thank you, Program Director, Minister and the councillors in absentia, and colleagues being the officials and the contractors. Looks like we have to kiss this microphone to be heard. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me now? Okay. As already introduced, my name is Tembani Makauka from the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. Sorry, I'm talking on behalf of Mr. Gile as well, so I get confused. I will not go into detail on the presentation, but I will be talking to Vukupile. Vukupile being a contractor development program. And how do we implement Vukupile? How we implement Vukupile is we've got areas where we partner with public bodies being people like the Department of Public Works and roads in the province. And there are areas where we provide support. So there could be the same public body that I spoke about could be implementing a contractor development program, but we might not fund anything. We would be partnering with them to assist them with drafting of policies. In Vukupile, we use policies for us to be able to implement the program. And the start of such policies is the SEM policy within an organization like ourselves as the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. And in that policy, what we specify or what we would talk to is the preferential procurement. We need to be specific on preferential procurement to talk to SMME development. And then we go down one level, and in that level, we do contractor development policy. We develop a policy, and in that policy now we specifically talk to contractor development. And in the contractor development, you'd remember, I think colleagues have spoken about the PPR or the Preferential Procurement Regulation 2017, but in terms of PPR 2022, you can talk to locality. You would remember that previously we couldn't talk to locality in terms of our policies, but you can talk to the policies by specifying some of projects, or rather identifying projects that you can do at a local municipality level, and you go to a district municipality level, province, and up to a national level, specifying the levels where you want to do that. And in going back to how we implement the program, is the Vukupile program is, it looks at training in two categories. We train in class as well as on an actual project on site. We also, and these are the things that get specified within a policy for contractor development. We also look at, we have targets. We target the youth. 50% of our participants or people that we train should be youth, and then 50% should be women. 2% should be people with disabilities. We have struggled previously with getting the right numbers or getting to our target when in terms of women and people with disabilities. However, through the colleagues that are sitting there, come from our gender unit that deals with gender, youth, and people with disabilities. They assist us in reaching the forums within a particular area. So if we were to work in Rustenburg, we would know, they know where are those forums so that we can attract the right people. With that, I want to talk to the, I would say, in Rustenburg, we have recently selected contractors that will be starting with their training in October this year. And in that, from the people that we have selected, we have managed to get 50% women and 80% youth. Well, the numbers are small, but we said that we would want to start small because we don't want a big number that might choke the municipality. In conclusion, Public Works and Roads in the province, they are also going to be implementing a contractor development program, and they are targeting 160 people. I will not talk in detail. I'll leave some for Mr. Gill. Thank you, Program Director.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Let me greet the Minister and his entourage in absentia, HOD of Public Works, our colleagues from other departments, those that I've seen around here, colleagues from our national department, and our colleagues from Sanral and your IDP and CIDB. Sawik, we do have programs that we specifically and intentionally look at women contractors. We currently have a contractor development that we started some time ago. This contractor development had 64 contractors, and it's coming to an end. The contractor development, as Ntate Makaukau has indicated, we do try and develop and skill up and coming contractors. We do that through giving them theory first, which is your classroom training, and we have those that we call experiential programs or projects that we give them to go and implement. Currently, all contractors have been allocated projects according to their gradings, your CEs, your GBs, according to those gradings in CIDB. The theoretical training for the contractors, currently we are organizing it for the current ones. We haven't done that yet. They will go through that. We are going to go into partnership with the Northwest University to train them on how to run their businesses. Learners will be offered a compulsory, it is compulsory, supervision of construction processes, NQF level 5 training. Currently, ladies, we do have 21 women in this program. We have 11, I must be very careful when I say this, with the youth. 11, when some people entered into the program, they were still youth, eh? They have since aged like me. So those are the demographics that we have currently. Like Ray Makaukau said earlier on, we are in the process of getting a new intake, and I'll talk to that later on. The retention strategy at the end of the program is that we are currently awarding routine road maintenance projects for a period of 6 months for all Wikipedia learner contractors as a final exit project. All contractors to be exited into the departmental database. There's a database that some of you saw that we advertised. Now, as an exit strategy, we are going to exit those contractors into that database as a bonus of some kind. That panel or the database is going to be a 36-month database. Learner contractors will also be prioritized for subcontracting in capital projects. Now, your capital projects are our big departmental projects that we are going to subcontract those contractors in those. And we are also appealing to Sanral to check with us. I'm trying to push my luck, HOD. The Chief Directorate is currently we are profiling what these contractors have done and what they are currently doing to try and show you our success stories. The new contractor development that I promised to go back to, this was advertised on the 29th of June. I think some of you have seen that. And the closing date was the 28th of July. If everything goes well, we would like to make sure that the new contractor development is in place by the end of the third quarter. Now, the requirements for that contractor development was: one, you must be a Northwest Province resident. And like Ray Makaukau said, we are looking at 160 contractors. We will check. I think we will be able to do it, HOD. 160 contractors. Those contractors will be distributed, those opportunities will be distributed proportionally across all districts, which means if Dr. KK has got only 10 people staying there and Dr. Ruth has got 1,000, we can't have 5 contractors and 5 contractors in every. So it will be proportionally spread according to the statistics in the different districts. CIDB registered contractors on level 1 and 3 are the ones we are looking at. And contractors must make sure that they never took part in any contractor development, so that we make sure that other people get this opportunity. I know that some that are currently in, I saw them in our briefings. I told them that they are just wasting their time. The class of works that we are looking at is general building, civil engineering, roads marking and signage, landscaping, irrigation and horticulture works, all from grade 1 to 3. The designated groups are weak. Women, 60%. Youth, 50%. People with disabilities, 2%. We are also giving an opportunity to our military veterans with 2%. Those are percentages. Please don't try and add them up. They won't give you 100%. What it means here is that you can both be a youth and a woman. So that is the issue. With those few words, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mudi, our nascent. But anyway, I think I tried to give a background. We are coming to the questions and answers. Remember, I think I tried to give a background of why we are here, what happened. But I think I didn't get to the crux of the matter. So let me raise the crux of the matter so that you understand when I call those who will ask questions. Remember, I said that BBBCE called and met with the minister to engage. There was also with SAWIC. And so because the whole idea was that in August, because this session was supposed to be held in August, where actually the minister is going to engage with women and youth. Yes, but in our midst, we appreciate that they are here. Rekopa ma security are thuseng for batho. So bomme ke tlo kopa yana. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Mamela Nkembo Bazali, I think because for safety reasons, we are not going to allow the questions and answers, but I'm going to call I think I'm going to call Ntate Ario.
If there's a BBC, not in this program. Now. You are saying that. No.
Ntate Ario from the Department of Public Works, just to summarize our discussion.
We respect you. Yeah, but the BBC must not be part of this meeting.
Yeah, we wanted. Okay, please, Saris, disturbing. You are actually disrupting our meeting.
We are not disrupting anything. We wanted to make sure.
The Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, Ntate Ario, to come and summarize and way forward so that we can close the meeting.
No, thank you very much, Program Director. I don't know if I'm in order. I don't make questions, I just want to make comments. Program Director, must I proceed?
Closing, Tate. We are not going to allow questions because our safety.
No.
For everybody's safety. No, we are threatening.
No, everything is fine, ma'am. I think they were just making sure of some departments here.
We've been
Yes, mommy, but
we have been directed to close.
now allow us, what the communities. We are the community. Can you allow us to make our inputs? Please. They are our brothers. They just make sure of some things. It is their right to do so.
Okay.
But this is the program of youth and women.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mama. Mine is very simple. My name is Sihle from Kosikolo Ramotsere local municipality, the heart of Ngaka. I just wanted to make some few comments on the presentations of the officials from national and public. Firstly, I would like to reflect on the issue of DPSA operations. To say the DPSA operations must never and try their best to centralize the administration of panel of contractors. We are saying DPSA, when they have project in municipalities and districts, they must benchmark and absorb local companies from that respective municipalities. So we don't want this thing of microwaving and mushrooming of national decisions. And you will find that there are capable companies that can do, and there is company from outside. The other issue I wanted to reflect on, it is the matter of Department of Public Works road maintenance plans and progressions in their projects. It's unfortunate that we have lost confidence in Department of Public Works in terms of operating their projects. They are not making sure in implementing and making sure that their projects are becoming successful. So we are requesting the National Ministry Office to forever play an overall side to the local, to the provincial programs. For instance, there is a project of road at Mafike Mandela Drive. It's a paragon of disgrace, that project. It is disturbing the processes and the traffics of such local municipalities. So the Department of Public Works, from national point of view, they must forever play an overall side, because of, we are saying the MEC of Public Works in the Northwest, it is not satisfying us. Moving forward, I wanted to compliment Sanral in terms of their outshining progression. So we are requesting the Department of Public Works to give or to allow Sanral more opportunities in municipalities, because of it clearly shows that Sanral can do better than the Department of Public Works in terms of maintaining the roads. I just want to move quickly and swiftly. There is an issue of grass cutting and project that was implemented, I don't know, by Vukupile or it is what. But that project was a paragon of disgrace also, because of I'm from Ramotsir local municipality. I know it was us, and we need opportunities as we are. But this mechanism and mentalities that we have as a local companies, to be given an opportunity and you start to demonstrate the level of your laziness and the capacity of hunger. We are not doing our best in terms of grass cutting along the route. So I'm just giving a word of advice to the young and woman companies, director and CEOs, to say, when we are given an opportunities, we must, with pen in hand, we must mark our names. This thing of us giving an opportunity and you just start grass cutting 1 meter from the road today, it does not give justice. You must clean and erase all the views of the roads. As I move swiftly to the accreditations of provincial and national appointment of contractors, we are saying, don't be biased on that. Be truth and honest to the locals, to say you must not infringe or impeach the foreigners and interprovincial companies to us. We have capable companies within the province, and we know this thing of sister and brother, girlfriend thing from the Department of Public Works appointment and what. Bruskap, we don't want such. That is why the Department of Public Works is collapsing, because of we are taking our brothers and our sisters in that regard. We are leaving people with capacity and skill because of biasness and friendship. So that was my comment. And as I move swiftly on the issue of SMME training and incubation strategy, I was leaning to Honorable Minister Sikalala, the most radical and vibrant minister we've ever had. We have confidence in Mr. Sikalala that he is going to drive this department to where, or to the interest of communities at heart. So we are saying, when you implementing or you are having plans for the department, make sure that you forever include the vulnerable and local from the villages in terms of providing skills to them. This thing of taking us for granted, you are sitting here in a talk shop and we don't be given a necessary support. That's why you see us not growing in terms of business of construction. So in terms of 30% of localities, we remain firm on that one to say priority must be of paramount in that relation of 30%. I can give you an example of Kosikholora local municipality at Zirasto Ikageleng High School, where there is a project of building of school. I don't know if 62 million or 122 million. The Department of Public Works told us that they are not going to give 30% of SMMEs to the locals. And that thing, it caused riots for progression of progress. That's why you see programs of departments collapsing. It's because of the greediness and gatekeeping of the officials of the department. So we're saying, we're giving you word of advice. Make sure that you expand and you accommodate everyone. In closure, last 2 bullets, Mama. The expansions of authority from provincial government to district and municipality to run their affairs. This thing of centralizing administration of public works, it's killing us. Allow the local municipalities to play their roles. In the provincial government budget, include the municipalities and district municipalities to play their roles. Don't centralize funds and administration of programs. For instance, if you give Ngaka local municipality an opportunity, or Mafike local municipality an opportunity to implement their project in terms of road potholing, road patchings and road markings, that will give justice, because of we have more and many municipalities within the provincial government. So we believe that Honorable Malapisi is not going to do it alone. So we must not be greedy in that instance. And in conclusion, Mama, panel of contractors. In conclusions, Mama, panel of contractors who are saying accommodate and change those who've been benefiting, because of they act as if they are kings of businesses in this panel. So we're saying give us an opportunity and we will allow you. Thank you very much.
Strong man. Kitlo for 2 more. Read very twala. Kitlo kita 1 more. 1 and 1. Okay. Kimang ako ko bo. Okay. Oh, okay.
Now, you are compromising us. You are compromising our safety. There was a gentleman here on a wheelchair. Will something better that happened now? What about that man? There's another one who fainted here. We did not consider it. Now, consider our safety and security. Upon our entrance, I never saw a police car outside. This event was supposed to be protected by police. That was the first priority that has to be on this agenda. How do you hold such an international event with no security? Mr. Minister cannot come there. Mr. Minister cannot come there with only bodyguards. You compromise that man's safety. You have compromised. That man has never done a first wrong. And we must protect him. Now, allow cautions. And if you want to assure these people again that this program is going to go accordingly, we need the visibility of police outside. I never saw an ambulance outside there. The government has ambulance and it has very good people who has to be taking care of this man, but he has to be taken outside. Give out to our Can next time we have police visibility, and health practitioners. Ke a leboha.
Thank you. Noted, noted, noted. Noted. One. You go pa bomme, bakay. Okay. Mufe fantato. Famme. Le meo mongwe ke ole le ntateo be re feditse kaf.
Ba ga itshudumelang. Ke nna Mutle Matlape ke tswa ko Maretsane.
Eng a tseng.
Ba ga ke tswa ko Maretsane ke rural village engwe ko Ratlong. Ko leng goreng re na le probleme ko masepaleng wa rona. Di district tsotlhe ra utlwela re letlo go fana ka di opportunity. Metse ya rona ko Ratlong ya lebaliwa. Go shebiwa di pleke tse di rileng so re ne re kopa gore ka tswetswe le shebeng rona ba re tswang ko di rural re na le probleme one engwe e dirang gore rona batho ba re leng gore ha ise re itshwarele next la re na le dipampiri tsa construction ke di changes tse le di dirang mo pusong le sa di dire ka nako. Last week re tlile ka bontsi mo Rustenburg ka Mantaga ra fitlha ra hira di room kwale re ipakanyeditse go tla mo eventing bosigo re kreya post e reng meeting o postponed. Nagana ra boa ra tla re le two gape go tswa ko motseng nna le mmeo maabane ra tla re ikirela gape because we just want to be here le rona re kgone go utlwa gore gate batho ba tsamaya kae le rona re batla go tsamaya go batho ba tsamayang teng ke rona ba we made it mare le itseng gore rona ba re senang bokgoni ko metseng ya rona re fela dipelo ene re boela ko morago so ha re tla mo tabeng tse tsa go fiwa di opportunity ne re le itseng re le government gore borre ba botlhale ba gaitso a ke re la re le ka rona borre ba botlhale gompieno yana ya ka le bua ka 40% ya rona ba tsamaya bale ba setseng ba tlwetse dijo ba go tsamaya ba bulela basadi ba bone le bana ba bone di company be ba tla ba fitlha ba tsena through the same channel e ba humisitseng gape ba go kreya bone basadi ba bone le bana ba bone ba sa tlhagelele go mo dilong tseo rona ba re buang re na le probleme ba gaetsho re mo poverty e kana ka lebaka la go balabala ebile ra bolellwa gore re ska ra bua ko re o kry gote o batla go kreya didimala ba gaetsho re na le bothata go tshamekela go motseng wa rona go tsena batho ba re setseng ba tswa kae ba tsena mole ba fitlha ba dirisa ba counselara ha re itse gore lona as government le tlo go ruta ba counselara yang le di contractors gore role ya mo counselara ke go dira fa go fitlha fa go fella fo because aba tsena kwale ba itse gore mo counselor doesn't control the project but the constructor make sure gore o partner le mo counselor so mo counselor le ene a dire dilo politically a rope ba le ba seng politically active or ba mo le site la gage go kreye batho ba gage e be go te rona gore metse ya rona e be le mo poverty situations it's only because rona ke rona re le ka di contract re phela re tshosediwa go te ha o bona go sena next mo motsengo ke tsone dilo tse le di dirang le dilo tse le di bua no because ware o feditse ka dipotso ka fo saiteng ke batla go bua ka yona tsela e go rona gona no N18 ha ka bona contract o dirang o tsa batho ha ba kgobokanya fa re a ke go fe 30,000 tsa mo dule mo fatshe I will do your job. How are we going to get from grade 1 to grade 2? How are we going to like re tlo go gola yang o tshwere certificate sa gago o kreya opportunity just once gape re ntse re le motse we cannot allow the very same person go dula kreya mmereko a sa gole because ka mo o alawa batho ba le gore ba mo rope ba mo fe di 30,000 60,000 ko thoko le ko di capitec di a khona go tsena di sa tsene mo bankeng ya ntho rona gape ba re tla mo re sa krei re lwantsha o le gore o dula o tletse gore bo sa gole is not our problem le re thusa yang gona no go na go bakangwa covered ground ne bona le yone cover ground le go tsene borre ba babedi ba leng khalentse ba khora teng go cover ground rona re reng e tsamela go fela tsela e ke buang ka yone le yone e tsamela go hela re lwa kae because ntho ke itsenyela ke gore ntho e ba ipasitseng ke go tsamaya ba bitsa mapodisi ba re tshwara re dula kona go ba dinimala ba humi baja so re ne re le itseng gore re go di grading tse di go tlase ba gaitso re dusang losing up mo di requirements tse le di batla mo go rona that is why mo mogatsa mokete ba dutseng go tlung ba se itse sepe ka business ba tlo go kry because ha di requirements tsa tender di tlhaga dire I should have this and this much ke ntse ke le grade 1 obviously mosadi o le monna ga tsentseng tšhelete mo bankeng ya gagwe ke ene gape tlo go tsena so la go fitlhela le gore you are busy trying to develop but still ha le bone development anyway So ko mmeng wa sa week ke a go kopa mada go ska tsamaya re sa go bona utla re go joina re kopa voice kwa le go thata mama go thata ya leja ha o ka tsena le rona maybe re ka nna betere. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Next. Okay, okay. Ntato t-shirt blue, and then there's a mother, Mama Keoli. Oh, Mama. Oh, sorry, Mike. Okay. Go ahead. And then that's the last one.
Many things that affect society, irrespective in this province. And you're not working with it means that a woman, if I she's not supposed to participate. And there are many things they discriminate us society, whether it's political, whether it's traditional. And we need to address those because people are not aware of those things. Second of all, the unemployment forum, the money opportunity advertisement is really biased towards young people. Most women come into a late stage of pregnancy. So by the time Africa Wale, let's say a woman is late 20s and above, they're already told where they must stand back, but to face it, now never be. And the money advertising is an opportunity. It means that access to information is compromised oversight. And when women try to form themselves into organizations, you know, a certain regional whatever, someone will only say recognize us as weak. And it's a problem because of mass violence. So it is not in every rural area whatever. So every local formation oversight, we are asking the department to recognize all formations oversight. Because it cannot be correct for only one organization. If we have a vote and they understand that vote so for recognition of all women forums. The everywhere for recognize the organization A1. That is delaying women and it's unfair and it's discrimination. Just period. So we need to address it. The issue we want to talk about is around, again, contractor development. Women know why they want to be developed. Now, currently, if you check out whatever, let's say Ronald represents a women in mining host community. Now, what the mining host community yellow plant in we're not what on trainer more general so we know what is required in our areas, we know which opportunities we want to access. But training it's like you're thumb sucking. You're not allowing us to say, here we are, we're a group of women, here's the gap, support us here. So we need to have flexibility around your contractor development because it is only based around your understanding of the ecosystem. And for example, mining in Ahana Ronara opportunities for Maspal. After Maspal, and so where does that put women, for example? Because Luna in amongst yourself, different service providers and everything, as we said, and hence that's what we are saying, can you got a public-private partnership model? Let it not only be used for big companies. Allow smaller companies to propose private-public partnerships. So this kind of because or what is a public-private partnership? So let it not only be the space of big companies and big organizations to dictate the mandate. Because if you do that, that lady is able, she's articulate. I'm sure she can work out a program in her community and understand that and articulate it better without having to wait from some say here to some in our community. So we are asking that way. And other things, some of the services are not accessible. You know, most women will know CIDB or Bokai, IDT. Our department, but have sharing information. So even straightforward, you know, and rather know you print or heavily newspaper many times or whatever you need to do. But make sure that you are being very much accessible, and then nobody EPW, it can be used like for maintenance, road maintenance, again, in localize because it's only the people who are going to be participating because so what happens when Masbala does not so it means we will never participate because our municipalities are broke. So properly readdressing and let's work together and figure out constructive ways. Thank you.
That's the last one. Respond so that Ramisa the points.
Ne ke file pampiri ke public works ne bang phile spaces le sa old commando building ne ba re nka nna ka berekela ko yona mar ka gonne batho ba public works a ke itse gore ba owner public works or ke bana le di shares a ke tlhaloganye since ke kry-a that place gore nka berekela ko yona ka 2018 ha ke tshwantse ke bereke mo ha ke tsenya fence ba romela batho gore batho ba tse fence eo one of the officials go tloga Mafikeng he told me face to face gore ha ona go bereka mo I've got people ba na leng tšhelete ba tlo nne ya tšhelete gore ke bereke mo I can mention the guy's name a ke na problem I've got a letter ke ne ke batla go fa minister because ne ke le ko Pretoria ke tsamaile office tsela tsa Pretoria ba nromela fa ha ba feditse ba ntshege so I'm sitting fela e dutse pleke yele ha gona motho o berekisang one of the guys he told me straight ha ona go bereka mo I've got guys ba na leng tšhelete ba tlo bereka mo so a ke itse mama ke kopa please ha o ka ifa minister so ke kopa go bua something ke na le copy ke kopa go bua something community bo mmetlhe ke kopa re tshwaraneng ka matsogo so se so ba bona gore nna ha ke na tšhelete ke mosadi ba nyatsa ba tshega ka nna one of the white guys approached me amplela are your government ya ANC ba ibetse ditšhomi tsa bone you are wasting your time and they will kill you at the end of the day for that so ke kopa mama
hello
we have questions. The question. Let them respond so that we don't lose these questions. Because I don't know but otherwise, I live the response. Okay. What do you question in? You talk about just 2-3 responses. I think Sandra was just a comment. Provincial department. I think you picked up a question, an issue about your programs, your training. I also picked up the issues about fronting and corruption. And what else? Okay. Those ones, I think maybe CIDB can help us with that.
Thank you, Ma. The issue of department providing relevant training for women. We are the Department of Public Works and Roads. Harena any I don't know how to put it. Kore hari karabele ko di mining. Yes, hari karabele ko di mining. This is an infrastructure discussion, eremo, ya roads and buildings. We can only respond to infrastructure yalo mama. Ya roads and I'm intimidated, madam. Yes, that is the issue that I wanted to put through. Issue ya batho ba ba ipueletsang ba gaetso. We make sure kanako e re tsayang the new intake ya contractor development that people are not going to be repeated. Re kwadile mo fatshe le mo di documenteng tsa teng gore should you slip through the fingers we kry o le ka mogare if we find out later we are going to terminate you without hesitating. So be rest assured, Mama, this time around we are going to make sure that not the same people are not repeated more the programming are on. Other issues I think there were comments and we take them, we noted them, and we also take them and also acknowledge they will come out handy when we continue with our programs. I'm not sure if I'm leaving out something, ma'am, but those are the two that I picked up. I realized that I triggered some more questions.
Thank you. CIDB, are you able to say something about the fronting? How do you assist? Because I believe there must be some policy of some kind. I heard you talking about your amendment of the policies.
No, that's not.
My understanding was that in our effort to empower women, there's one element which is actually taking people back, which is fronting. Ne? Because we are making announcements here that going forward, these are our projects that we are going to implement for this financial year. 40% of those projects will go to women. You're responding to that, Nan? Okay? And then, but you are saying, how do we ensure now that these projects definitely go to women? Because what happens is that men will now go and front with those that have money. They'll go and front with our women. And I think I can share that we did a research at some point, the Department of Public Works, where we did a research with the University of UJ and about this fronting issue, where when we literally called women who were in the register, yeah, CIDB, most of those women who were there registered as company owners or contract company owners. Some did not even know that they are owning companies. They didn't, it's a fact. Some did not know. So the issue she's asking here is that how do we make sure that because I know that we've been battling with this story, fronting. Because at the end of the day, we can ring fence projects. We spoke about 1.3 billion. That is actually going to be 40% of that should go to women. But there is an issue. That's why there is no progress of fronting. That's what I heard. So I thought CIDB will be in a position to answer. Maybe they said no, they are not in a position to answer that one. I'm not sure if anybody from the department can answer it, but they should be somehow, we should be hearing when supply chain allocate this, how do they, this point and this point, you are a woman, how do you really confirm and ensure that this is not a front? It is really a woman? Do we have any M&E, do you have any tools in place that we can use to ensure that we avoid fronting? That was my understanding of the question.
Yeah, colleagues, I'm not sure if I'll be responding to the question. While I was standing in front of you guys, I said as the CIDB, we are reviewing our regulations. And part of the review is that we are going to introduce competency requirements. We are simply saying that a contractor whom we register must be competent, experienced, and have the necessary skills. So partly, I believe that, I want to believe that partly that will address the issue of fronting. Like I've indicated, I'm not sure if that will address, that will directly, respond to your inquiry. But like I've indicated, we are reviewing our regulations, and competence requirements is one of the things that we are going to introduce. We are going to register contractors with necessary skills, with necessary experience. So this issue of what's a girlfriend or what's a mosadi o motseni a pointiwe. Partly we are going to address that through the competency requirements. Thank you.
Thank you. There was also an issue of oversight role by National Department of Public Works. I'm not sure if IGR, is somebody from IGR here who can assist us? Okay. Mr. Ario, can you assist, or can I just try to attempt? I can attempt to by saying that, yes, in the Department of Public Works, actually in the public works sector. Okay, I forgot to palam. Sorry, I forgot to palam. The public works sector, which is made up of provincial departments, Northwest, Limpopo, all the Department of Public Works provincially, and the Department of Public Works and its entities, CIDB, CBE, Agrima South Africa, which is the other? Yeah, we've got 4 entities. So what happens is that we have what is called technical min-mec and min-mec. Technical min-mec is all the HODs of this public works sector and the DG of public works and the CEOs. They meet and we discuss issues of our challenges of the public works sector. Ne? That is where we engage as a sector. That is where you coming oversight. That yes, we may call it oversight, but we might not necessarily be overseeing them because of the constitutional mandate of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. Because the constitutional mandate of that is saying that we have a concurrent mandate. Ne? We do meet and we discuss at that level. Also, that then there's a bigger meeting, a gathering which happens every quarter of all MECs in the public works sector and the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. The Minister chairs this meeting. And so your issues that you are raising, that there is a need for an oversight role, I think it is important that it should go to this sitting, that these are the challenges that we are encountering. And so in that platform, how do we bring, because then that's where we discuss issues of policy, issues of strategy, of how do we actually ensure that the public works sector work together. And the issue of oversight, we understand that other provinces may have different challenges than other provinces, but there is a platform where we engage as the sector and try to resolve these issues. But I have actually noted that DDG is here. He's also a member of the MINMEC and the technical MINMEC. I'm sure you understand. When we do the closing, maybe you can touch on that as well. It kind of happens that we do sit down, we do support one another as a sector. Yeah, then I think maybe I should move on to the other questions. The others were just comments, and I've noted your point, Mama, of organizations, of women organizations, not only SAWIC. We are aware, actually what is important is that I've got my colleague here from Gender Unity. I know she's going to be upset with me, but I'm going to engage Lily, because unfortunately, you know, sometimes it's like we only work with SAWIC, but it's not that we only work with SAWIC, maybe that SAWIC is more, will come in and engage with us. But you are most welcome. There is a department, there is a unit called Gender Unity. Okay, thank you. So I know at some point we had because of what you're raising, we had in 2012, I think, we had what was called Women Empowerment Advisory Council, ne? Public Works Women Empowerment Advisory Council. It was made up of, we tried to get many women organizations on board, including women in the built environment profession. Women, SAWIC was part of it. There was, Auntie Ellen, I can't remember them. There were many organizations, though. There was women in property. So I think what is important, I'll ask Auntie Ellen, to engage with her. We hear about your organization. We want to actually revive this body because it actually it's inclusive. Because we are mindful also of the fact that other women are not in it. They are not entitled, or they are not entitled to the benefits that other women in SAWIC have. I think that is critical. We will engage you, Mama, and get those. But if there are any other organizations here, women organizations here, youth organizations in construction, please, Auntie Ellen, can you stand up, please? I'm sorry to expose you, my friend. Yeah, she is the director in gender unit. So she will be able to ask to get those details so that even going forward, Mama, because when we try to mobilize, we usually ask SAWIC to do it because we know that they've got a database, but we will definitely gladly get all the other organizations on board. I think covering okay, Mami, on the rural areas and projects. I think we took. I think Mr. Ario will also in your summary, Mr. Ario, maybe how does EPWP actually go for go into these rural areas and just to explain a little bit on that. I want to believe that others are covered. Can we ask those ones another? We're going to have 5 more, the 5 last ones. I'll be looking at the side. I could have been looking the side.
No. I was noted, ma'am.
Okay. Can I have somebody to take the mics? We just need 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please let them be young people. Where are young people? Young people. Yeah. Can I have a young people? Oh, yes. Yes. And then there'll be 5 after you. Can I have young people as well? Just 5. We are closing, guys. Hey, you are lebugaline. Let's go on.
Okay. Thank you, Program Director. Dumela Magaitso. Kalina ke na lady sising ke tswa ko Mafikeng. The reason ke me ka maoto ke tshwere mic the first speaker wa rona o buile mole. He bashed program ya public works and hayantsa sentle. The comment there's a technical danger in what he said. Now, Northwest, there are 2 types of grass cutting or road maintenance. There's one near Central, and then there's one near National Public Works. Now, the dangerous one, Kia Central. I'm sorry to say this, and I'll give you reasons why. I was part of road maintenance go N18. Now, what happens is we get there as the subcontractor. Now, you have a big white company, it's responsible for 5 routes. Now, for that white company to get that work, they priced the lowest. That's number 1. Now, the lowest means they used, well, that was one of their reasons, but they used their rates from 10, 15 years back. That's why they can still afford to get appointments from Sandral. Now, as a SAPI, you get there and they say you need to cut 60 kilometers of reserve, more N18. But Razmatez, as the big company, rate yabone, it's 60,000 for the whole road. Now you can't go above the rate, the main contract. You need to be below. I left there running because I could not afford. Because I could not cut grass at 60,000 for 60 Ks. Now, the one Yako National, to be honest, I think it's the best of the best. I would much prefer the one Yawuntate Khanti than Yako Sandral. And remember that Sandral is standard Zion. They are very strict. The height, the meters from the road, it's just strict spec Sandral. And to be honest, to the contractor said, if you are going to go there at your own risk. Be careful of the BOQ, the rates that you get there from the main contractors. That's the first point, Isiam. The second one, I'm with my brother here, Tabo. Now, the problem Tabo, he registered first company, yeah, not he registered, he tried the second company. The issue, even if he goes more databasing or he submits, his condition, which is Osamaka wheelchair, it's not clear more the documents. So he's treated as everybody. Now, program director will say there's been cancels and there's been women cancels for million. Niki kopela kontate khanzigere. Even if akaira a small cancel go fishing for such guys, ekasimo keep busy administration. He'll probably get 10 companies from the whole of Northwest. Sabat babaling disability. So niki kopela fela from such an engagement, nikopa fela or ha tswa at least a lead you go kopana le mang to get information or to progress learn as a business person. Thank you.
Lina Kilebo from the Rustenburg Property Investment Stockfell. Kinali two questions. One, what is the department doing about the self-appointed business forums? What do you do? What do you guys do to protect us, the contractors? That's one. Number two, as the stock fell, re rekile a property ko RTBS program, re rekile ka 2018, and now we are not able to proceed ka the project because Madiwe municipality is unable to render us kamtlakas. Apparently there's a contract, it's been since 2018, we don't have an answer. We have the money to do our construction, we just need Motlakase to approve capacity ya Motlakase o ro tlhokang. So now I don't know where to run to. We've went to human settlement, we've went everywhere. It's been 5 years now. Men abatla batho ba youth. I was a youth then, ke magogo now. So we need assistance. We don't know where to go to. Thank you.
Dumelang bagolo. Nna ke nna Sihle mo Rustenburg. Ke batla go bua ka something that EPWP introduced ebe se fella mo moeng. Ga EPWP introduciwa, there was something that was called social facilitation. Ke kopa fela go le highlightela gore social facilitation e ne ile eng then, I'm not sure gore ke eng now. Social facilitation is about encouraging community participation in the development of their future and provision of interventions that promote ownership and sustainability of projects. What it says, for every 10 key project that comes to every community, there must be a social facilitation, which is a neutral body amongst the stakeholders that are coming to do the project and the community, where the social facilitator would be in a position to appoint CLO, train all other people that are working with the CLO, and is able to help the contractors that are appointed to appoint the local people, classify them according to their skills, and make sure that he or she is in a position to help resolve disputes among all the stakeholders, is in a position to write his or her own report that he present to the municipality as part of the monitoring system that the project goes well. Most of the projects in the province that did not have the social facilitators, they either collapsed, all the negativities. I want to give you an example of a project there called Seraleng, because people wanted to occupy houses that they know are not theirs. With a social facilitator, you are given a list of everybody that has qualified to be given a house with a house number. People already know that house that is now in construction, it's mine. You go with them step by step. You are the first person as a social facilitator to go to the community with the municipality or the head of the project to recruit, mobilize, and even inform the councillor. You mobilize the community, you give them the background of what is coming to them. When other people are on their way, they already know what's coming, what is it that they should do. What's happening? If there is that budget, their social facilitator, it does things that are, because it's in the budget, a 10 key project, but it's never seen. Who happened to my next door neighbor CLO? Who happened to any other person that can do construction or any other project, because it's not necessarily only for construction. Even Lego mining, for as long as people are going into communities. So EPWP, I hope you are now in a position to tell us as what is happening with the social facilitators if there still is in your programs.
Go bua nna ra ba file nna mic. Wa utlwagala ke a utlwagala le kopele. Dumelang bagaetso. Program director. Ke botlhoko gore he mme o ke kopa o bua ntse le khale ke emisitse letsogo. E be le re ke be short. Yeah, o tla utlwela. Because and then maybe ke directed to the minister e be kopo ne. In forums like this, re kopa the government officials te ba presentang ba be after rona, because you present dilo tse re di itseng. Now le re biditse gore re tlo bua ditletlebo tsa rena or even the way forward. A ke re ka se fela ka ditletlebo, re tshwanetse re tle le ka di way forward as well. Mami o fetso bua ka di social facilitator. It's my core business, social facilitation. We encounter matata modi projecting. Public Works, kilina the custodian, ya EPWP. Therefore, lay all the acts said, and which is when we read about them, those acts, Ritsa Public Works ya re failure. In a sense, ya I think many have spoken about the interaction at municipal level. I get. Renalibo Salga, Renalibo Mang, you name them, all the parastatals. But government on its own doesn't talk to each other. You work in silos. And that's why le failure as communities South Africa. Really South Africans, but we're going round in circles. It's not right, and sorry to use that word. Now, we've got your Municipal System Act, SLA Pasiwaka together year 2000. We've got Local Municipal System Bill, which was then an Act 2022. And there's a focus here, National Development Plan for 2030. But when I see it, I wonder how are we going to succeed with that? Because we are neither here nor there. Hone anong CIDB presentile the changes tse ba batlang go di etsa. And that's why I was saying a go nne rena re buang pele before lena le presenter. Because in all the years that CIDB, we've had issues that degrading. And kopele, when you go to your grade 8 and grade 9, it's few blacks. The then CEO, CIDB, Mr. Koza, when we were adopting the Freedom Charter some 15, 20 years odd back, I personally raised the question to say, government calls us to come together, but herifita ali rutwell. Who formulates the regulations to CIDB that disable or we have to face them. Somebody may say I'm racist, but I'm not being racist, I'm being real. Renali, big companies, your WHO, your Greenika, and everyone else, they hold big projects. Now, instead of the government saying, we forge partnership, and that's what should be happening, because this issue, our locals, Batlota as the subcontractors, it's not fair. It's not fair in a sense, these big contractors, subcontracting, but very low rates. And then CIDB comes and says, you must be graded. Or grade you when they go to your bank, there's no money. The trend in communities is that local subcontractors, they've decided to use a term pulana. You know, like you become a subcontractor, the local one, and others we work under when. So you get 20 local subcontractors in one trade. It's not possible. Everybody goes home 15,000 after paying labor, after paying what, after paying what. That is not fair. Also, the issue, Minister, local or black contractors. We don't talk about supply. We don't talk about supply. And even when we want to even go to that, supply, who are the producers? The issues start training, why are we not training our people to be able to be manufacturers and producers, that those same materials, so that they can benefit our communities? So, project 1 ya 14 million, ya 30 million, whereas project above 100 million, they go to your white contractors, and they don't want to subcontract our people. When they do, then it's a shame. When a program director, be patient. Minister, we have regulatory bodies in construction. CIDB, we've got the OHS, we've got your EXA, and all of them. All these regulatory bodies, they are not talking to a black person. Black people are marginalized. The red tape thing, it is embarrassing. But when you plan, call people who are relevant. You cannot plan on engineering when you are not an engineer, as a belief. As South Africans, we are tax-paying citizens. We need to be respected accordingly. SARSE comes after us, really the business people, to say we don't adhere and all that and all that. How do people adhere when they don't even get benefits from all those projects? Contractors. But I promise you, if you had given us a chance, everybody is disgruntled. It is not right. A country are not high appeal. Because when we go and vote, we vote and giving hope to our people. A program director ke kopa ka tlhompho maru tlhompane. A re tlhompaneng ke tlo fetsa man. Ke tlo fetsa. Akere ke a go di points tsaka ke tlo fetsa love you ska war. Ha go tla mo developing ya di BOQ. You know, back in the day when I stayed in Gauteng, there was a program, Johannesburg Housing, Joshko, where they had a section in the BOQ that only talked to the SMMEs, local SMMEs. Therefore, when big companies or whichever contractors have a bidder for construction, they would know that this section of this much, it's for the local content. Everybody talks about the 30%. But every forum ile last year by Lobuaka 30%. And the very court, ya rena ya South Africa, granted them to say that PPFA from January 2023 does not include 30%. Therefore, main contractors are not forced to give 30%. So, ga ke itse gore lena le public works le nyalana yang kgang e. Again, because we encounter those challenges. Bagolo are being serious herlimo. Na akere aketlo complain afel. Buikuelo baka kohor. These big companies at tendering stage, why don't we forge consortiums or JVs? And that is possible because akere melawe otle irile ke motho. So why don't we revisit all these acts and all these regulations so that they favor a black person? And when I say black, I say non-white. Whether you are Indian or colored or you are non-white. WHO tsa batho ba bantsho, re bone di green card tsa batho ba bantsho. Re na le dilo gate ke di SETA. Ne? Di SETA, they've got grants. Mami, kirile arbe patient. The SETA dina lidi grants. We've got aro educating, re tle re itse di rights tsa rena.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mami. Mami,
the SETA,
thank you.
The SETA dina lidi grants, Mami. These private companies, when the triple P was implemented, it meant partnership. Hone anong renze, re laka unemployment. Why unemployment is because private companies, they get projects more public sector. Mara, when it comes to private companies, people don't get projects more the public, more the private projecting. It is wrong, Mami. It is
Thank you,
wrong.
Mama. Thank you.
And that is why Kopa Mami, or next time.
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah,
Mama. Hakana batho ba batla go botsa le bone. Re kopa gore o fe ba bangwe chance mme.
No.
Fa ba bangwe chance, Mama. Kopa re tshware mic le o tswaleng batho.
Yes, ke a go fa mic mama. O ska.
A re fe ba bangwe chance mme.
Ko bafa. Ka mo call wena no file the officials sa how chance. Le rena re fe chance because we are the people on the grassroots and we are the people who suffer. We didn't wake up one day in business just to play around to spaza shop. We are well educated enough to know what we want. So please do not underestimate us. As a belief, mama, I respect ani. You should be teaching batu kadi mandatory grant, kadi discretionary grants. They long di apply la. Only white companies dia degree. But our people, hona no busily work at training. Le train batu, but after training them, what happens? You don't talk to the workplace. You don't even
Thank you,
place
ma'am.
them.
Thank you.
Hi, ma'am.
Thank
As
you.
a belief. Thank you.
Bomme nako ya rona e shaile. Batsadi re kopa go responda. Re kopa go responda bathong.
Dumela. Le kae? Sorry mama ntshwarele kopela go tshwaelanyana le nna. Ke khomotso tlhagale go moretele local municipality.
Sorry mama, let me make an announcement. There is a car KZ78 FNGP. KZ78 FNGP. Please sutela motho na le emergency ke a kopa. Thank you. Continue mama ke wa bofelo.
Khomotso from moretele local municipality. Nka se nako ya go mama go potshwaela le nna ke tlhaga ke le kgakala ke tlo ikutlwela ka tsebetsaka. Ke na le a kitse ke re ke question e one le ditshwaelo. Question ya mathomo. Ha ke itse ke re to the panel or to the department or to the minister. Gore invitation ge e tswa e rile invitation for women and youth. It's not gore ke tswalela the other gender. No, kopa le ntshwarelo for now. Ne ke ikopela gore ge le ntsha di invitation a ke itse di tswa di le go kae di fitlhelele go lona le le go departmenteng. Ba specify gore batla this. If really bacha, I be bacha. Ili both genders. If ili bomme, ka ikopela. If ili bomme, I be bomme. Ba khakhautane le bomme go. If ili yonke, I be yonke. Re tlhakane bo botlhe. Hona no ke tlhaga ke le go moretele local municipality. ke fitlha mo ke tlhakana le malome wa ka wa more than 70 years o ile gore o na le o mo grade 9 ke tlhoka le seat yena a ntse ko pele kwa mara nna ke kry-ile email mara yena ga kry email. Next thing he re tsena mola ga gona le register a ke le rometse email la re reserve space he re fitlha mola na I thought gore re tla kry-a ba thika gore kgomotso tsena mamang tsena ha wa maloma ka shule wa mfeta o nwa coffee o ya go pele mara ga kry-a email. That's number 1 gore la re faila as batjha la re faila as basadi. I'm about gore ke ye go bommeng. So I need to give up you are failing us. You are telling us gore is invitation for women and for youth. But here fitla mo re tlhakana le papa rona le malome a rona ebile ba re fenya re kgone le go bolela bona kwa mafelo wa bolela. Okay guys, one. Number 2 ne ke kopa go botsa go departmenteng or le mo paneleng. It's okay le go paneleng gore program e le reng e teng le rile ke 60% women 50% youth akere. So program e le teng ke potso gore ge le selector per district pila le batla batho ba ba kae ba bomme ebile le batla batho ba ba kae ba batjha, because of at the end of the day the invitation di a tswa mo di e-tenders and everywhere ra di attend di briefing tseo mara mafelong o ka ile gore batho ba ile gore ne ba steng mo listing e leng gore e capture le henerile briefing ke bona ile gore ntle ba tsene ko mafelong. So de kopa le eo le check le yona gore mabizo, like for example today ha ke tse list ele e re kwadileng go ntle he re tsena le bo maloma rona ba more than 70 years or lisa database or lo ikhaila la ilata. Because of if ever haibere list ela gore re kwala di company tsa rona, there was no necessity gore re tlatse mol ngentse re tsene fela ka mogoso ka mo. So ha ke tso list ele lo capture le lo generator a database for everyone who attended today or le lo etsa fela la ilatlhela go mollo. So ke tlatsa mo ya gore ya per district le batla bomme ba bakae batjha ba bakae and then le lebella mo bathong ba ile goreng ne ba attendile briefing on that day na ile bomme le ya batjha ya mafelo to the department ke tla ke le go moretele go irile tsela D634 ebile le mathata ke show everyone wa itse gore ebile go se le go atimela motho le ka tshokole se la bigiwa mo dikgang mo motsweding le ka tshokole ga isa gre because of go tla di main contractor he di fitla go di villages tsa rena ba fitla ba re botsa ha ba nya go berekisana le rona. Okay rona re tloge re lle re tse our last send re namele re ya provinceng re fitla re ba tlhalosetse mathata a rona ba re okay ba note ba re kopela come to the ground le tla le tlo re thusa ke re motho o ke client ya lena o luna le client go yena anyway and he's a main contract boledisana len gore a bereke le rona pile. The department doesn't come o tla fonela all the offices all the top management de o bolela le bona o khopela gore ba tle go ground until go iragala dilo tse di botlhoko tsa go tshwana kana le gore motho a timele a lwela the 30% of which all right gore a kry something on that 30%, because I believe gore as a department you understand gore if ile gore tsela ne le gravel and then e batla go upgradeiwa if there is no husna batho go husna le batho ba bannang ba lwa ba re ba batla tsela ke man na tla tlo bereka go. So at the end of the day since wela re le batho re nna go re le community go tlisiwa motho re a tlo bereka le rona we must benefit from that project of which is our 30%. Ke a leboga.
Ke a leboga kopa respond di kutso tsa di telele di dingata di tlo go di lebala be ba gape le sanne happy ne. At 3 o'clock, re a tswala ba re lunch e se bua ka 3 ne. Yeah, Disability Council HOD will respond on it. He's going to do a vote of thanks. The road B634 Kia Provincial Public Works, EPWP Social Facilitation, the DDG is going to respond on it when he does the way forward. And then Mewa Property, Mamelan Bazat. Mami, what property? Me wa property ona bua ka property mole. Your letter has been given to the regional manager of Mabatu. Nomoro e kwa lenyele ke yone nomoro ya gago. Ke yone nomoro ya gago. But he's here na santsa le kontle a thusana le mathatanya nale. But if he can see you now, but the number he has noted it, he will get in touch with you. But you can still do it now if you are, because he's still around. Okay. Salele tshuletse le tsogo. Nyana ke batla go subakanya di question bo mama. I can something respond. And then there was also training on manufacturers and issues of policy there. I think they will just summarize when we do the way forward. Yeah. So kia bofelo ba kae? 2. Move Mike. O sorry Mike.
Sorry Mike.
Wa bofelo nna ke a gona re ka dira yang. Di ka ke ra botse dipotso tsotlhe re ka mpara na le mbizo e nngwe.
Madume batsadi. Ke tlo go tla mo gore ke lebetse re rile ke mang. Kutlwe a ro lebetse dipotso tse ne re di botsa. Le nna ke victim ya N18. Re tswa ko N8 re tswa ko sorry. Ke tswa ko ngaka Modiri Molema. Hona le a current contract N18 27K 35 million rand. Re quota the culvert road marking. The contract called us Rona because ntsere mo founela. When he called us the contractor a re bitsa re le bo merele 4. So a re sherisa 250,000 rand. Re kry 65,000 rand. A re bolela gore re tlo go clean di culvert. We never quoted for cleaning culverts. O rile ke emergency. Ne re metse gore contractor kutle mama re ska re tlhola re lwantsha di contractor tle ko motseng. Tsela e rilwe e feditswe ha gona po berekileng since re clean di culvert tseo. So di contract ne ke botsa gore public works office ga re khantsi re lekile go founa re founela the bra a ke itse gore ba relate yang because ke bona the very same name ha re ba founela ko public works re thabang is ke ne le client ke ne na introduce ra contractor. So re lekile go mo founela so re mo founela are we are bitter because of hara appointiwa wa tlhaloganya. So ke bothata bo rena le mbone ko motseng wa rona. So ne ke botsa gore re empoweriwa yang ka 62,000 rand re tswantse re tswe ko grade 1 re ko grading e nngwe ebile le ka so se rona re sa se quotelang. How re khantsi le monitora yang empowerment ya rona re le bomme ko metseng. Ke a leboga.
Just 2 advices me. The first one is to Public Works and Sanral. We just want to understand their monitoring and evaluation system when it comes to Public Works. Number 2, the sector engagement dulang. But we don't understand how does the feedback come down to the people. So ne rekopa ntwe one molona to say rekopa program ya gore how do you come down to the communities and the regions to avoid misunderstanding early editing today, because this is a failure. You cannot wait until the minister is here to address issues. Thank you.
Ke leboga opportunity. Nna mathata aka ako CIDB. I have question and a plea. Really the SMME, when we try to regrade Kare CIDB department, it's failing us because instead of bare to the next grade, they actually now sucking money out of us. I'm going to give you an example of, there was a project in Neki qualifier to grade from 1 to 3. And then I paid 2,500, which is the requirement. But now, because more projecting energy, there was CE and there was also fencing. So they took the money and said, I'm not going to get it back. I need to pay another money to upgrade. because of just ticking one type of CIDB and not the other. We as SMMEs, we don't have such money. So those things, already afford just to tick an X in a box, or forfeit an amount of 2,500 to upgrade more opportunities. That is number one. Number two, more than one CIDB types. If you have CE, for example, and then you do GB just close to the renewal date of the CE, you forfeit the GB because of the CE. How one expire, all of them expires, even the recent one you just paid. That is money that is just going down the drain. And then another thing on all departments is a government, it's paying the SMMEs. Every website, yeah, government, the contacts is a dilemmoting, hadi beregi. People by rural areas, they cannot travel to the cities every now and then. You get email addresses, you get phone numbers, government is want to change updated the contact details to say and one more thing, the first speaker wa the SMME o buile more than 9 points ke motho wa rre o utlweletswe sentle mme o ga ile motho wa mme a bua di points tsa rona o nisiwa fatshe re bo mme re tlhoka go utlwiwa re na le di problems tse le gore re tlhoka gore le di utlwe why motho wa mtate yena a emi 9 points a di boeletsa a bua a sa stopiwe mme yena tshwantse a stopiwe ke west party gore o stopiwa ke motho wa mme e le motho wa mme ha wa tshwanela re dire yalo ke a leboga bagolo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama. We're just going to get responses. CIDB, please respond. CIDB, and then you're going to have the way forward by our DDG, who's also going to cover issues at EPWP. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Baholo. Yeah, there was an issue here, the review of the CIDB regulations. I think the concern was how do we get to review the CIDB regulations? Mama, as the CIDB, we do have contractor engagement sessions. From time to time, Harry engage the contractors. They make those recommendations for CIDB. This is what we think, this is what we propose for the CIDB regulations can be changed. We also have the provincial stakeholder liaison meetings. The provincial stakeholder liaison meetings, we call all the contractors. Actually, most of the contractors through the contractor associations. And then we engage them whereby they give us their proposals on what to do, what the regulations need to be revised. And the PSLM, it needs to the National Stakeholder Forum. That is the forum that takes all the decisions in terms of the review of the CIDB regulations. The National Stakeholder Forum is the one that finally make recommendations to the national minister for the CIDB regulations to be reviewed. So basically that is the process. Through the contractor engagement sessions, the provincial stakeholder liaison meetings, and the national stakeholder forum, which finally make recommendations to the national minister for which and how the CIDB regulations needs to be reviewed. Sisters, Mama, you mentioned the issue here. I did not get the first question. The second question was when a certain grade expire, all the grades they are expire. That's what you said, again. All right. Mama, let it be a proposal. Let me take it forward, that concern, and then I'll put it forward to my superiors, and then I'll give you feedback for how will we go about addressing this particular issue. But the first one, Mama,
No, Mama, sorry, ma'am, sorry, Muratwa. Can you just engage outside? Please, N18, somebody's here.
All right. Afternoon again. I'll try to be quick. I think it has been a long day. I had to move my car. That's why I left. I had not left you. So N18, I think you did raise quite a couple of key issues that we have also detected. So the challenges you raise around low rates is correct. You are aware the PFMA requires that when you have done all the functionality stuff, you award based on price and preference. And that basically means you must take the lowest price. And this is where a lot of the problems are coming from. But there are maybe two things I need to correct that maybe it was not indicated to you at the time. The first thing is you do not necessarily have to tender at exactly the contractor's rates. The main contractor's rates. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the whole point of tendering, isn't it? Otherwise, why are you tendering? We'll just give you a price. We have allowed in all the bills where Sandra works to say there is a provisional sum that deals with fluctuation. The difference above, especially above the contractor's rate. I think at that time we'd allowed up to 25%. That if your rate is different from the main contractors by up to 25%, Sandra was willing to cover that cost. So that was there. So it was, if it was not indicated, it was just maybe the people you were working with, that was an oversight. The second part is, and this goes to most people in this industry, the construction margins, as you are aware, since you work in this, are very low. Sometimes it's 2.5% and so on. So construction is one of the most difficult sectors to earn a living in. And I think that's where a lot of our problems are. It's very easy to make losses, much more hard to even break even harder to make a profit. And that is a broader conversation we will need to have. I think I'll speak to my colleague from the CIDB about what we can do to deal with this particular matter. I think let's leave it at that for now. Thanks.
Going to call. To just summarize kind of way forward. I'm not sure if we have way forward, but that kind of direction. And then after you is the HOD for the province, and maybe he'll also highlight some of the issues that were raised that are related to the province. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. It's working, yeah? Okay. Thank you very much. As introduced, I'm Acting DDG EPWP, Ignatius Sario. Just going to try to give a bit of a way forward and also just respond to some of the questions. I think let me first respond to the... Shh! Can I have your mic? Yeah? Better. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, this is much better. I'm going to just respond to one question on social facilitation and then just try to outline some of the points in terms of a way forward. In terms of social facilitation is still a very critical part of EPWP. We actually have IDT. We have somebody appointed from IDT to support public bodies in terms of social facilitation. And as the National Department of Public Works, what we've decided is that on our projects, we said there has to be an element of social facilitation. We've also come up with a social facilitation strategy. So it's something that we need to take forward. What we need to do is we need to engage the different municipalities, the different stakeholders who are implementing projects to ensure that they have social facilitation. So it's a very important point. Indeed, to get community buy-in and participation, you have to have social facilitation. So that's the response I would give on that. In terms of the way forward, The first one is that in terms of the oversight of the Department of Northwest Public Works and Infrastructure, this will continue to be done at the MINMAC and Technical MINMAC Forum, so that point is not lost. We'll ensure that we have standard procedures and a lot of the issues that we've picked up in this forum. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that the current contractor development program that's being implemented by Northwest Public Works and Roads needs to be completed. So that is the second thing that needs to be done. The program where they had the 64 contractors, they have 38 currently. That needs to be completed with projects being given to the different contractors and training being provided. The third issue is that Northwest Department of Public Works and Roads needs to implement the contractor development program. They want 60 contractors, but they need to ensure that women, youth are part of those selected in terms of the breakdown that has been given. That needs to be implemented, and we need to ensure that we meet those quotas in terms of women. We said 60%, youth 50%, and then 2% person with disabilities. So in the recruitment, as you finalize, that needs to be done. And then the fourth issue is that we as the National Department of Public Works and also the Provincial Department of Public Works, we need to implement the preferential procurement, as we've said, the preference for women, the preference for youth. That needs to be included in our contract documents. So that is something that needs to be done immediately. As a way forward, it's something we need to do so that we have empowerment. The fifth issue, the gender unit of the Department of Public Works will engage with the provincial, with our provincial counterparts to ensure that we engage women who are not supported through SAWIC or not represented through SAWIC to inform them of the different opportunities. So that is something that we'll take forward so that we have broad engagement. The sixth issue is that CIDB and IDT, we need to have, they need to be more visible. They need to have awareness campaigns so that stakeholders know what are the different issues that are being implemented. The seventh issue is the issue of social facilitation. We said that needs to be taken forward, that needs to be implemented on all projects, the idea of social facilitation. So that's something that we are noting. And then the eighth issue and the last issue is that we are saying that there are a lot of issues being raised. We are suggesting or proposing that there should be a stakeholder engagement forums in the different districts that needs to be done in partnership. We should have the Department of Public Works, the Provincial Department of Public Works, and CIDB and SANRAL. We need to have that on a regular basis. We are suggesting that at least those stakeholder forums, let's start on a quarterly basis, and then we see, once we've dealt with the issues, we go on a 6-month basis. But it's very, very important that we have continuous or continual engagement. So those are the 8 issues that we are proposing as a way forward. There have been a lot of issues that have been, comments that have been made as well. For example, we need to ensure that the contractor forums, that we don't have patriarchy, that we have a representation of women in those forums. The issue of how contractors can be protected against business forums, it's something we need to take forward. I know that there's a national strategy in terms of how to engage with business forums. That's a partnership with SAPS and other stakeholders and CIDB. That is something that needs to be taken forward. Then there was an issue about different stakeholders working together, that when we implement projects, we need to have all different stakeholders knowing what projects the other is doing. It's something also we need to take forward. And also the issue of subcontracting on projects, that needs to be structured properly so that companies can be able to benefit. Also the issue that in terms of our contractor development programs, we need to tailor them to ensure that we actually develop the contractors. That's an issue that we picked up. And then another bigger issue is the issue of revisiting some of the acts so that we promote consortiums and collaborations, especially between black contractors. And there was an issue about how do we promote manufacturing as well of materials amongst different black companies. Those are some of the issues that we've picked up and we've noted. Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you.
HOD, the HOD will come and do the vote of thanks. Malinda Mekilebuche before, I won't talk after you, HOD. Protocol does not allow me. Kiri ki kopa maitshwarelo batsadi ba ka le nkinele matsogo metsi mo ke fusitseng teng hela maemo ana a rialo maemo na rialo are ke program direct. So hasika mwa ope fela batsadi ba ka, but thank you very much for those who stayed until this time, for your cooperation. Thank you for protecting us from everybody else. We've noted our mistakes also in also coordinating and convening the session. We take your advice, Abut. You said it very well. The logistics that you have highlighted, we have noted that. Thank you very much. HOD, you will be the last speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you very much, Program Director. I think you did well. Maybe we must clap for our Program Director, for our woman Program Director. So we must emphasize it. I think you did well in the circumstance that we found ourselves in, and you directed quite very well. But I'm not doing the, I actually just want to thank you heartily, because it was a very difficult crowd, uncontrollable. And I think even from ourselves, colleagues, we have learned from the experience that we have seen earlier on. So, but before I respond to, I do what I've been requested to do, I must really take an opportunity to respond to some of the questions. Obviously, Mr. Gill and the panel members from the different entities of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure nationally, we have attempted to respond to the questions. But of very, very paramount important that the question which was raised by Naledi, I think it's Naledi Sising, yeah, he raised a very important question. Ntate attempted to respond to it. It's a very difficult one, of the law rates. We're struggling. I think I must talk to all of you about the issue of the law rates. You know, it's a PFMA thing. I normally say when I was engaging our provincial treasurer, I said, look, this thing is so difficult. I'm working in an infrastructure environment, but we are procuring infrastructure as if we are buying in Pick and Pay, for lack of better word. You look into Cremora and said, no, Cremora is the same as Ellis Brown, and you started choosing. So that's what we are facing. But the impact of the low rates, let me tell you what is the problem of the impact of the low rates. Because I'm having experience both on the roads and on the building side. The impact of the low rates is that it impacts the subcontractors. I have just received a letter from Moretele, the road that they spoke about, D9, I think it's D963, where we have appointed the lowest of the contractors, because if you don't appoint that person, you are in, AG is going to deal with you. So we appointed, but now they subcontract you. After subcontracting you, they persuade you to write us letters to tell us that the rates are low, and then they are not going to pay us, and then please talk to the department, they must give us a VO, and the project is closed down, there is chaos, you go there, you investigate what is happening, then they will go to schools, close the schools, do all of sorts of things, because they want a VO or a variation. And then we are going to end up, because we are under pressure, doing the variation and giving the same price that somebody else tendered for. So that's the problem. And you drive past there, you see that, oh, there's Nelson Mandela. They're doing it, I price it at 73. There is it at 73, but they have given it to somebody with 55 or 49. That's the problem that accounting officers are experiencing all over. One of the biggest other problem is about, Remkhatla, I think I must thank you for your response. the issue of the CIDB. We raise it at MINMEC. I think my colleagues are here. The CEO, the new CEO of CIDB is working on it. The technical MINMEC and the political MINMEC has given the new CEO the responsibility for this review. Because people nicely are at grade 9. You appoint them, they are not, they don't even have, you know, a grade 7 can do a better work. They can't even deal with communities because if you are appointed, I mean, you have to choose. I was telling the contractors last week here that you don't have to apply for every tender. If the tender is advertised in an area that you think that you don't have a capacity, don't apply for it because you are going to end up paying monies for this construction mafias, for protection fees. That's what we have experienced. Most of our projects, Retlatla will tell you, most of our projects, for them to take off, you need 3 months straight because you have to deal with this construction mafias, exactly what transpired here earlier on. So I think we need to be very careful. So how we resolving, resisting this issue of the low rates? We have public works, I think, and roads. In the past 3 years, we're using what is called the objective criteria. You take the estimate of the project and those that have priced a little bit higher on that and the lower, and then you do the objective, and then you select the person, because then you are going to end up on the estimates, or either above the estimates or lower than the estimate. At least you can get somebody who can deal with or will implement the project. So and then we think that is going to, we have engaged our provincial treasury. They have agreed we are going to use it. So the social facilitation, what we are going to do ourselves, because we have realized that thing is a problem. And this sub-consultant, that which you are calling subcontractors, to us, especially on the side of the roads, we call them sub-consultants. You are social facilitators, you are OHS, you are what? What we have realized is a serious business. I was sitting next to, I think it's Sihle, but sitting just behind me. For us, it's a serious business. What we have done as a department in the province, what we are going to do ourselves, we are going to open a database for these sub-consultants. Because these sub-consultants, in the main, we appoint them through the main consultant. And we just heaping them with unnecessary problems. Because then they start fighting who is getting it, and the powerful gets it, and they get more than 3 projects in one district. So we have realized that, we are going to open this pre-qualified database for this sub-consultant. It's going to help us. So the contractor development, DDG, there's acting DDG, there's no way. We're going to implement it, this program. We are now doing the exit. Last week I had a meeting with the 64 contractor developments. People are outside, they want to come in. This contractor development of us is a spoor case. It's a spook in the spoor case. Yeah, people have been there since 2014. It's bad. It's poor management. We can't perpetuate this thing because then we are stagnant as a province. So I have engaged the attorneys and the lawyers and Mr. Gill. We have finalized the exit strategy. I had a meeting with them last week, just last week. I appealed to them that they must exist, and they must exit. Then they have agreed they're exiting. We're going to get another brand new 160. And I must tell you, on this 160 that I have applied, that we have advertised of the contractor development, we have started already. You have seen I think Sawik and other groupings, women groupings that are here, or pressure groups that are here. We are deliberate. We said that 60% for women, 50%, and that is based on the trends that are there out in the market, not even on a government policy. Women are there. Youth, the highest of the unemployed, of 53% in the Northwest, are youth. So we are deliberate. We are giving them 50%. In terms of the statistics, we will give you the statistics. So by the end of third quarter, that contractor development must be running. We are targeting to implement it in the next financial year, because part of the exit strategy is that we must give these ones that are inside a package so that they must exit. And what we have done with the exit strategy, they are not going to apply like Regil was saying. They are not going to apply to get into the database as an exit strategy, because it's very rough to get into the database. I mean, we have advertised the database now we want 250 contractors. 7,000 people already have applied. For 160 of the contractor development, 3,000 and something people have applied. Where do you start? So what we have done, Honorable MC, we are saying that out of that 160, the 160, we are taking them, after selecting them, the 3,000 are going to be the subcontractors of the 160. Because we are struggling, they call it grass cutting. That thing is not grass cutting, it's routine road maintenance. And I can tell you, program director, just last year, I'm already fighting with AG. We spent 32% of our 1.4 billion on this routine road maintenance. So, which is 32%, you can tell, is almost 300 and something million. So, and it's making a lot of impact. Some of the people that have participated consistently in this program for 6 months, they immersed Ramukhatle 4 CEs, 4 what. They are powerful. We checked, we did the stats last week when they were here. People are not just existing. There's no one who's existing at level 1. It's just that business people, program director, I was listening. Business people will never be, they will never be, you can even go to the richest company, let me say maybe your agreements and what. They want more business. One of the stories that I heard about Ackerman, which has moved me, was that the reason why he was where he was because he used to stop the car. And when somebody's having a paper bag for Checkers or another brand, they said, why are you not buying in Pick and Pay? Because they want to change how they are doing. He wanted to change how he's doing business. Rona, we are applying for everything and we end up losing everything. We are doing supply. We are doing... same person. I was telling them last week that just on this routine road maintenance, minimum, the main contractor was getting 500,000 per month. The subcontractor was getting 300,000 per month. But every month they don't have money. And I was telling them that, as a public servant, and I know I'm talking for public, I have never seen a cash of 500,000 in my account. If I can get it, maybe I can do something with it. But business people, untaxed, I've worked for public service for almost 30-something years. 500,000 in my account, cash, untaxed, I can do something about it. But there's a problem with business people. If they don't get business, they stoke others. We call it queue jumping. They want to jump the queue every time. They want to be first. So, program director, I think that's how I want to summarize it. I'm confident. I'm actually excited that the minister was here. I was deflated by because I appealed to these people last week. Last week, I think I met the contractors from the roadside. It was about, together with their consultant, 200 and something in the same venue. On Thursday, I met on the building side, more than 300 and something. I think those who were here, they will attest to that. I pleaded with them. I said, the minister is coming. And when the minister is coming, please raise, like the sister who are on Alimolore, le rona gape as public servants, and I think I've noted it. Re tlo presentela batho dilo tse ba di itseng. Gore no nna ko public works kirang na kirang. Batho ba di itse, batho ba kgerisa ba. That's why they are here. So I have learned anyway from my side, and then I think I will whisper into the program directors here that maybe Araba rates a bit, because last time what I did, I called all of my project managers. I said, tell us what are the challenges of our contractors. And then we spoke on specific challenges, but we will correct on that. And I must profusely want to apologize for our planning. And then colleagues, especially from the colleagues from Sawik and what, in my former life, I worked in human settlement in my former life as an accounting officer. So I'm quite very aware with these challenges of infrastructure. What we did there, we are not going to make an impact. And I told my colleagues in Public Works, and I arrived last year, I said, colleagues, the best thing that we can do, I've seen it working. These women, some of them who are sitting, I know them personally, these ones, personally, I met them at grade 1. But what we did, I then proposed to the then MEC, who is the acting premier, let us establish a pre-qualified database for women, people with disability, and youth. If somebody of grade 9 is getting a tender, Ntate Singh, then they are forced to subcontract that 30%. They must give it to these people that are women and people with disability. We started 1952 project. We took about 1,962 houses and we gave it to women. And all of them, they have emerged. I see some of them here, Toli. I asked her, she's on grade 7 or grade 6. Because it's a pressure group, there's no way that you can run away from these people. If you are not organizing yourself, also join the groupings. But in closing, I think I must thank you, Program Director, on behalf of the Department of Public Works and Roads. I have reheard the issues of the challenges from the roadside. I think I must, in absentia, I must thank the minister for coming, the ministerial team that is here, the advisor was here, the DDG, acting DDG is here. I've seen the team, I've seen my colleagues, all of them are here, and CIDB, IDT, ba dependa mo go rona re tla ba fa di project, and then gore ba lefe, and then so budget ya rona fela rona. That is why rona le stress acting DDG, because we have a budget of 3.5 billion as public works and roads. 1.6 alone this year, 1.6 alone is about roads. It's a PRMG, provincial grants. So, and then 1 billion and 100 and something is on the building side. So we have a lot of projects. As long as you can organize yourself, but everybody can, not everyone will get this, this project. But colleagues, let me take this opportunity to send our appreciation and gratitude to the Minister, as I've indicated, of Public Works and Infrastructure, Minister Sikalala, and the team, and the advisors and everybody. I really, on behalf of MEC Molapisi and the Provincial Department of Public Works and Roads, I really want to profusely apologize of what has happened earlier on here. I must emphasize that this thing was not part of our program. I mean, the military veterans are here. This thing was not part of the minister's program, and it was not even part of what the minister wanted to do and to say here. So I really want to apologize, and I hope that the MEC, I'm sure he has already spoken to the minister, because the MEC is not available, and the minister also has received positively his, because he wanted to start here earlier and leave during the course of the day. But because of the change of times, and then he had to stay in that meeting. So, but I really want to apologize on behalf of the Honorable MEC Molapisi. I want to apologize on behalf of the business community, the built environment of the Northwest Province. I don't think that it's us. I don't think that what happened here represented you. Even if this session was organized by SAWIC, at least we are leveraging from what SAWIC has done. I always take positive criticism, as long as they are constructive. I take them and they build us and they build the entirety of government. So we really apologize for that. And we want to assure you on behalf of the MEC that if an engagement of this nature takes place, we will attend. I think we have learned, especially the organizers, Mr. Gill, we have learned we're going to reorganize better and then re-invite the minister, because we don't want to appear as if, I mean, we had the same engagement with the Minister of Transport. The engagement went well. So I think we need to be very, very strategic in future to organize this thing. But thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you to all of you, for those of you who are still here. And thank you very much. And Tsamayan sentle bagaetsong re a leboga.
Re lebogile. Mo re na le lunch ne. If you have not been given this, how to exit? Utla bona motho o tshwere o tlo go fa this ticket where you're going to. Please go and have